Anyway, alright, hey guys. We're live. Welcome back to Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
Know where the camera goes?
Yes, for now, until we have to move it inevitably. But for now, let's get back underway. In the middle of whatever was happening last time. I have no idea. Okay, we got out of that, the Russian ballerina's room. And here we are.
I wish we hadn't been thrown out like that.
You don't have to lean forward like that, it's fine.
Can I sit all the way back here?
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, try speaking.
Oh.
Nah, that's fine. Oh, I wish we managed to find some clues as to what the speckled band might be. Speckled... Wait, what is this speckled band?
So she talked about the last thing that was a speckled band. Vent?
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm back on the same page. Here we go.
Didn't manage to investigate at all. Imagine that we won't be able to for a while longer. We'll never get past the jailer guarding the door.
It's clearly glaring at us, as if to say, don't even think about it. Oh, wait a minute.
What is it?
Well, what happened to our great detective friend? Where did he go?
Oh yes, he's completely disappeared.
When did he do that? He slipped away as quietly as the wind, but not before ensuring these were securely back on my wrists. Alright. Well, I don't think there's anything left to examine here. It's the mousetrap, remember?
The guard, I guess, in very short.
Guess we can talk to him. Hey, he's rocking it, man. I really wish we had a chance to look around in Miss Pavlova's cabin.
Stroganoff.
What? Why'd you look like that? You want something?
Hmm?
Maybe you want me to throw you out again, hmm?
Oh, no, definitely not that.
Next time I have to throw you out, I show you where lobsters spend winter, understand?
Understand?
Where do lobsters live?
Maybe they just die.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe we should steer clear of him until he's forgotten my face.
I don't think you get your face not over those.
I don't know, I feel like I have a very forgettable face. Very plain looking, I gotta say. Alright, well.
Got lights out. Or
You're
leads
right.
to the second class area.
It's locked. I can't open it.
No, well, it's... No one wants to let the murderers...
Gosh, she gave me a very stern look when she said that. No
on our
faith.
side. Well, they're bullhounds. That light is...
Oh, saving electricity, you know? First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin.
Not our cabin. Kazuma-san.
Sorry?
Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin.
Wow. You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? I feel like we talked about this,
this.
yeah. Wonder why the...
I found
Oh. Oh, what was he doing for us again?
Oh, maybe we can.
No, we can't. Probably to our cabin. What were we getting Hosonaga-san to do for us again? We sent them on some errand. Looks like they're still investigating in here.
I wonder if Inspector Hosonaga is...
What do you mean, unscathed?
Surely you haven't forgotten, have you not?
I
Yes, we have
mean...
forgotten. Yeah. Don't you remember what he said about allowing you out of this cabin? Going to talk to the captain about it.
Oh, that's what he was
said he'd
doing.
lay his life on the line for you.
Oh. Yes, I remember now. But I'm sure he was exaggerating. Let's see what he has to say for himself. He might have some new information for us. You never know. Is he here?
I always read the... Oh, yeah, there he is.
Oh. Whoa. Okay. Oh, you're back. Inspector.
What happened to you? Your face is...
Please, don't worry about it. Why did I make this guy run? Why did there have to be Russians actually in this game? They're just scratches. Made by a bear, maybe? When I told the captain I'd given you permission to investigate, he told me he'd pummel me with his fist and then toss me overboard. What? But the pummeling was over in a flash, and he must have decided against throwing me overboard. So it was nothing, really. It looks like he wasn't joking when he said he'd lay his life on the line if he had to.
Well, Thanks to your efforts, we know a little about the neighboring cabin.
Yes, so I understand.
Oh,
I bumped into a man claiming to be a great detective a little while ago. I think his name was something like Herlock Sholmes. I don't think he was German though. Ah, that explains it. Shall we compare notes then? We can tell you what we found out. Yes, let's do it. I know. What? Nikolina Pavlova? She's in the cabin next door? Oh, do you know who she is? Please! What self-respecting ballet fan wouldn't know that graceful angel? Oops, I think I upset him a little there. Well, that tells us the neighboring cabin is unrelated to the case at least.
oh my.
Oh, how? Because angels don't go around committing crimes, do they? Oops, now I've definitely upset him.
Inspector, your investigation in here proved fruitful?
If I'm honest, there's very little more I can do.
Very little more.
Our duty is to make sure the scene isn't disturbed, ready to hand over to the Hong Kong police. Wait, why Hong Kong? So I'm just keeping watch here, trying not to take my eyes off the job. Ah, there is one thing. I do have a small piece of new information for you. Oh, what?
Yes, do tell us, Inspector.
What is this new information you have, Inspector? It's this. The Bureau medical officer has finished his examination of the body. I managed to obtain the report. Oh, Kazuma's post-mortem report.
Kazuma's.
So, what was the cause of death? Damage to the cervical vertebrae is what's written in the report.
Broken?
Yes, it would seem so. There were no obvious wounds or other signs of injury.
How do you write it?
What do you mean? Well, who's to say? Did he say that? Did he
Oh,
just
if he died from being hit on the neck,
That's true. He'd probably instantly die.
yeah, or he's twitching, freaking out because his vertebra, whatever.
Either way. So at first, I think they were considering poison. But it turns out they found no trace of poison in the system at all. Well, what weapon was used then? Nothing has been found as yet. But the fact that there are no signs of a wound suggests it may have been a blunt object. Something that wouldn't leave a mark. Maybe he was strangled, actually. That's because that's kind of what it seems to be leading up to. I don't think his neck was like broken or anything like
But
that.
if you get marks from
What did you get marks if someone hit
all
you
the
hard enough
body's
to?
nerves, I know. All the body's nerves run through the spine to the brain, a strong enough impact to the neck. There's a possibility no obvious wound would be left.
Or Kazuma. I have a second copy of the report. If it might be useful, you're welcome to have it. Really? Are you sure? Yes, it's fine. I trust you. Wow. This guy trusts me for flipping my assistant over here. After all, if I didn't trust you, I'd never have agreed to you leaving this cabin in the first place, would I? Ah. Now laying it out real thick. The best character.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes was here, was he?
Yes, he seemed to be enjoying himself a little too much as he crept about on the floor investigating. But then he suddenly left. I suppose he must have become bored. Did he say anything at all? Actually, now you mention it, yes, just one thing. But he practically shouted it. It's shoe polish! Was all he said. Shoe polish? I wonder what he meant. It was when he was over there, by the broken piece of glass, do you see?
Perhaps he was talking about this brick-colored mark.
Ah, yes, that must be it. But how could Mr. Sholmes know that it was that shoe polish? That leaves me cold, I'm afraid. I have no idea. What is it, Susato-san?
Well, Kazuma-sama was wearing leather shoes with a very dark tan.
Dark tan? A sort of dark brownish red then.
Yes, a little like the color of red wine, but darker. I often repaired them for...
Oh, does this mean that this mark was made by the polish in Kazuma's shoes as they scuffed on the floor? That's really all I can tell you at this stage. I should return to my post. My fellow crewmen's eyes are boring into the back of my head. Yes, that might be for the best. Thank you.
Poor Inspector, you exhausted.
Oh, no. Well,
Oh.
I feel terrible that I failed to protect Asogi-san. He was my responsibility. Of course, my pain is nothing compared to yours. You were his friends. The truth is, I seem to have had a heavy head ever since I woke up this morning. A heavy head? That's interesting. Okay, the food was drugged. My head's still throbbing too.
And I guess.
And I bet that that's why there's a struggle, because Kazuma didn't have any either.
Yeah, we ate the food.
Yeah.
That's why we slept through it.
Talk to that guy
Oh,
again.
blunt object up there? What we got hit with?
I don't know if this is the person. Oh, no. Oh, wait, that was stuff, but it's fine. Oh,
You have to look after the ship's property. Unruly behavior in the cabins.
but it really wasn't me who knocked them over.
Well, anyway, I feel much better now they're neat lined up. I can't relax them because they're untidy. Oh, Ivana? Because they're all new.
Not all of them.
Oh, is that not?
I don't
When
know.
it doesn't have the check?
Yeah, I don't know why. These are the rules of pass for travel aboard the SS Buria. I feel like we read these.
Passengers cannot keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their
Yeah,
cabins.
we read this.
Pets are strictly prohibited.
Oh, it's just
So
because
Miss Pavlova has broken the rule.
there's new information changing what we know.
She called it her friend, didn't she?
Yes, although we don't know what form this friend takes as yet.
I'm almost certain that whatever it is, it's inside the traveling case cabin.
A friend. There's more to this than it seems, I think.
voice? And there. You, where did you go?
Oh, sorry,
Oh, it was almost French.
Why? Who gave you permission for this?
Well, Seaman Hosonaga did.
Did no Japanese, was it? Later I will roll him into a ball and throw him in cold room.
Everyone here has an obsession with throwing something somewhere.
Cold room. Lobster.
Ooh, he's gone back to guarding the door.
Inspector Osonaga doesn't find himself in too much trouble on our account.
He's really gone on his way to help us, hasn't he? When we get back to Japan, we'll have to take him for a steak at La Carnival.
It'll be a very long time from now. Naruhodo. Right. I got my two.
Thank you for revealing that on stream for everyone. Anyway,
I don't care.
I'm just
Does
saying.
my breath smell? Do you smell it from here?
I can't. Anyway, so it's clear that these letters were written with the ink that was somehow spilt on the floor, and they spell the Russian word for wardrobe.
It does seem to be an unambiguous pointer to you, Naruhodo-san, is your...
But to be truly unambiguous, it should have just spelt out my name, don't you think?
Well, either way, one fact remains. Hard to imagine that Kazuma-sama would have written his last words, or word, in Russian.
Which begs the question of who did write it.
Yeah,
Yay.
maybe he doesn't even know Russian. Like
I
the
mean, he
knife at the
probably
ground.
doesn't know
Oh, the
Russian.
shoe polish. Really is such a color design.
Looks like whatever it has broken clean in two, as he got chopped by the sword. But the other half is nowhere to be seen. Then there's this brick-colored mark,
And then there's this
Oh.
brick-colored mark.
which is shoe polish according to that great detective you seem to know all about.
Suppose it must be from Mama's shoe.
Maybe. But what I'd like to know is, how can the detective be so sure that it's shoe polish and not something else?
Because he's a great detective, of course.
That's hardly a reason, is it? What more do I have to investigate?
Right there, he's dead.
Good grief.
And we'll read it.
This is where Kazuma spent his final moments writing his diary.
1:23 a.m. Hear faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of spectral band is dangling from the ventilator.
Looking at his writing here on this page, it's almost impossible to believe that he's gone.
Kazuma-sama left us a valuable clue, I'm sure of it. We have to solve this mystery, Naruto.
We will. This ventilator joins to Miss Pavlova's cabin.
Right.
And just a few minutes before he died, Kazuma saw something emerging from it. A speckled band, as he described it.
Maybe a cat tail.
Yeah, but probably just an animal.
Only Miss Pavlova had been able to light on it. Baffled as we are.
Yes, I wonder if she's telling us everything, though. No, most people aboard would say the same about me, but there was something about that woman that didn't sit right with me.
Big bets last time on who?
I think so. I thought they weren't revealed yet.
Our bed.
What?
Bed, I mean Cosmos bed. Doesn't it have a thing on it?
No, it's not.
Oh, no,
it's not
you're
the
right,
shape.
you're right. Go to the right.
Oh,
No!
no! I'm so glad there's a fast forward in this game.
Wow, that was a long one.
Okay.
On the chicken bone. Knife? Sword? Okay. Word in Russian? What the heck?
Might just be
That
nothing in this
bugle?
room. We might be done investigating. Might be done investigating.
It doesn't tell you, you're just done?
I think they tell you before you leave the room if you're done or not. Try leaving for now. Okay, so something's changed, so we're probably done investigating.
Ah, look Naruto-san. And Stroganoff is gone.
Wrong enough?
Oh. The burly Russian sailor who's always crossing his arms and glaring at him.
Oh, all these Russian names are impossible to remember. Did you hear that? It sounded like someone singing.
I know.
Oh,
As you.
I did it. Wait, how was my? Let us begin in the art of the dark. I did it in a great detective way.
Caroling, I know that lark-like voice.
Well, never mind that now. This is a golden opportunity for us.
Yes, you're right. We must seize it. Let's get inside Miss Pavlova's cabin while we can investigate.
Definitely. Before that stream, not crewman comes back.
Stroganoff, not stringy, not.
Alright, let's move.
Maybe lick in.
It's already open. There. Paloma wasn't back yet. Not the sun. Oh. Gone. Hey, what are you doing? There are private things.
Not a moment to waste, Naruto-san. Just investigate as quickly as we can. Her
I
things
suppose
are
you're
knocked
right.
over too.
For Cosmo's sake. Yep. Everything is important
No,
here.
not just for Cosmos.
What do you mean?
It can't be long now until we arrive at port and home.
Where? Why?
Alright, we're going.
Maybe it's like transfer.
I want you to
Really?
solve this case, Naruto-san, by ourselves if we have to.
Yes, we will. Alright.
What?
Here we go.
Oh my, Miss Pavlova's case is open.
It's completely empty inside, but according to the great detective's great deduction, she was hiding her special friend in there.
Yes, a friend that she had.
Because you're not allowed to bring animals aboard the SS Burya. I wonder what kind of animal she had in there. And more to the point, where is it now?
But
That'd be incredible. Yes, they're displayed in this cabin too. Look, the SS Burya's rules of passage. Passengers, yeah.
I suppose Miss Pavlova really need to keep the content if she read this. Special friend, I mean.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes it's a bit much. It's a bit too. They're over-explaining. I just hope Stephen Stroganoff doesn't find it.
Throw it overboard. Oh yes, so do I. It does feel like it's rehashing some things when we just click. I have to
Oh,
click on it
100%
again.
this is trash.
It's like we clicked on this
They
before
put
too.
they put the intern in there.
All the books are toppled over together. Look, every single one.
That's a god of the sea, perhaps? He's toppled too, though.
Exactly the same as the bookcase next door in Cosmo's cabin.
Perhaps Miss Pavlova was practicing a difficult ballet pose and fell against.
I don't know. Would she really be practicing ballet on the same night she ran away from her ballet company?
Alright then, it must have been you. You lost your temper and knocked them all over in a fit of rage.
Not everything bad that happens on this ship is because of me, you know.
Anyway, I set them all straight again in here too. I don't like seeing things in disarray. I'm sure it's got a plan.
Obviously it's important. He's done this twice now. There are just a few books on the desk, nothing else by the looks of it.
Pavlova only ran away from the ballet last night. Hardly occupied this cabin for any time at all.
That's true. I wonder what kind of books she likes to read.
Yes, I see it would be. And Miss Pavlova enjoys reading. Books written in Russian.
Oh, wow! Astute observation, Mikoltova. Thanks, I think I probably already knew that.
Rude to ask too much of people now, Naruto. Finally remember. Suppose every cabin has a water paper basket.
The waste
Paper basket.
Shall we have a
Water paper is
look?
what I said.
Water paper, wonder what that is. Shall we have a little look and see what's been thrown away?
Naruto-san. Poor etiquette to go sifting through someone's rubbish, you know.
Ugh, those eyes. I don't know how she's looking at me, but she's looking at me with some type of way.
These are they're special circumstances.
Exactly, we have no choice. Into the trash,
Into
dumpster diving.
Into the water paper basket.
There's hardly anything in here at all. There's no water or paper.
Oh, well, that's a little
Oh, well, that is disappointing.
that dialogue for that, huh?
Hey.
It would seem this teapot is empty.
So the natural conclusion is that the Russians are very thirsty people.
Or, because Miss Pavlova only came into this cabin last night, she had the chance to make...
I like my interpretation. Both ways.
I mean, it could be either.
It's definitely that they're excessively thirsty. I'd lay 1,000 to 1 on it.
Rather obstinate, aren't you, Naruto?
Pan.
Oh, doggy bowl. I wonder what this little saucer's doing on the
For
floor.
a cat, too. Yes, it doesn't look like it's been dropped. More like it was put there deliberately.
Think that there could be a leak in the roof just above here?
What? A leak?
This ship quite safe?
I'm sure that even if there's a little leak in the roof, it doesn't mean the whole ship is gonna sink.
Oh, you're right. Of course you're right.
She's really trying to persuade herself, isn't she? I was half expecting her to say something else ridiculous, like, "No, you're right. It's actually going to just crash."
Dude, that thing you sent me with the teapot is the funniest thing. I watched it like 3 times. You are Phoenix!
You
Phoenix!
eat the tea bag!
Phoenix! Naruto-san, are you there? That's what the humor reminds me of, though. I'm like, literally, like,
it was pretty
I
funny.
didn't know better, now I think that's from the game. Like,
Yeah, isn't it?
it's just the swears that make it not from the
True.
game.
Yeah, it's just like when I eat the muffin wrapper. You eat the muffin wrapper? Anyway, for what we're referencing, it's just like a YouTube video that has like that parodies like Ace Attorney and just has this case going on, and they're talking about how Phoenix eats the tea bag. Sorry, I'm right here. Yes, why?
Oh, good. I thought you might have climbed into the wardrobe when I wasn't looking. There's no place like home.
Believe me, I don't have some strange compulsion to jump inside every wardrobe I see, you know.
Well, anyway, not sure anyone could fit inside this one. Full of beautiful outfits. Suppose they're all stage costumes.
I was rather hoping we might find Miss Pavlova's friend hiding in here, but no such luck.
Bad thing.
There's one of these next to the bed in Cosmo's cabin too.
Maybe her. Yes, it's a bell cord. I can't resist.
Go again. Pulls over the Russian. He barely hesitated there, and she gave it a good tug too.
No, I didn't. Something.
Oh, I wanted to read what they said.
I didn't actually expect anyone to come.
We don't want them to. We're trying to investigate in secret.
Top right.
This ventilator connects to Cosmo's cabin next door.
Oh, what the heck?
You already knew that.
But in Cosmo's cabin, right here, right?
Yeah.
So wouldn't should...
No, it's like if there's two rooms, this is this one and it connects over to this one.
So when we look outside the room, right? Cosmo's cabin.
Yep.
Cabin. Walk in. This is what we see when we walk in,
Yep.
right?
So you see it on the left side. So you should see it on
has to
Cosmo's right
connect
side.
these two. Yeah, so you have to
Yeah.
see it on the left.
Yeah, so you walk in and you see this on the left side, and then when you walk into Cosmo's room, you see it on the right
You
side.
don't see it on the right
You
side.
do see it on the right side.
You do see it.
Oh my gosh. Yes, although what a fool Matt must be to open a ventilator on the opposite side of the room. Maybe. It's so that if there's a gas leak next door, the occupant of this cabin would notice and raise the alarm.
Or the occupants of both cabins would die of gas poisoning.
That is a possibility. But once again, I think I'm right. Anyway, last night Cosmo wrote that he saw a speckled band coming out of this ventilator. It's probably a cat. Wouldn't be a dog. Either a cat or something
That bag?
completely off the charts.
The door?
The door. This cabin door has the same simple sort of bolt latch that our cabin door has. Bolts drawn across, there's no way anybody could enter the cabin from. It's probably like the cat probably locked the door behind him or something stupid like that.
Yes, it's not a particularly heavy bolt, is it? Still, it wouldn't slide across of its own accord, would it?
Oh, but it's easy enough for a cat to slide across is what you're saying. No, and the door is made of metal, so there's no chance of trickery using magnets to unbolt it from the outside.
That perfectly too. Stop any seawater coming. So you couldn't use the method of you told me of passing a thread through the crack around the door. Closed door.
I seem to know a lot of tricks for opening doors. I'm starting to see why they suspect me. I make a really good killer.
Top light.
We might be done.
The thing at the bottom.
Might just be done with the room.
Alright, we're done. Let's leave.
Yeah, I did wish they told you when you were done investigating, but you know. Yeah, let's just start leaving for now.
But we just keep flip-flopping back and forth and back
Eventually
and forth
something's
till
gonna
something
happen.
happens.
I guess so.
Is this usually how the gameplay?
I mean, usually you kind of just go from one place and you're done with that place, and then you go to another place. Okay, well,
Doesn't even tell us if something's done then.
it should tell you, I think, if you haven't investigated enough.
Okay, but we haven't investigated enough. There's nothing left.
Well, clearly we haven't investigated something.
We have to reinvestigate everything out in the hallway.
Oh, there might be, maybe that's it. Oh!
No, God.
Oh, there's nothing there, it's fine.
Alright, to the hallway! Oh man. Maybe if I didn't have to sit through the same text rewritten 4 times.
Aha, the door,
Oh
once
my
again.
gosh.
Miss Pavlov's cabin.
It'd be our chance.
What? Oh, okay,
The
okay, I'm
burly
just gonna,
sailor and we
yep.
can investigate.
Oh, yeah, that's probably something.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you just stand there. Okay,
This is probably reasonable enough.
Oh, it's Mr. Sholmes, look!
Wow, you never know who he's going to turn up next, do you? Really, we did not.
He seems to be stealing a look at something as he sings to himself.
Why did you have to be singing, Sholmes? Tra-la-la-la-li-ra-li-ra-lay, I did the great detective away! He's still singing. Do you think he hasn't noticed us?
Or he's simply in extremely high spirits.
Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when the yard bit off more than it could chew. And through it all, when there was a doubt, it was lucky her luck was about. Excuse me. I solved it all and stood tall. I did it the great detective way. Mr. Sholmes! Ah! What is it? You want to fight? Hmm?
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, interrupting a fellow when he's singing, and I was just about to reach the climactic finish. Sorry, I thought you were
Oh my
never going to
gosh.
stop, so I figured now is as good a time as any. I very nearly dropped you to the floor with one of my famous right hooks. Alright, I get the picture now. Could you please put those fists away? There's memes about this.
Oh, there is.
Sure.
Here, one second, let me turn the fan on. Yeah. Yeah.
This middle? Is
Worry
this a
about
light too?
No, it's just a fan.
What is it?
Don't ask me. I didn't make it. Go read your lines.
You seem to be examining something before we interrupted you.
Ah, yes, that. I was immersed in the study of the ship's log, as penned by the stockily built crewman, who's usually on guard here.
Oh yes, the ship log.
And did you find out anything useful from it? Well, after 2 a.m. this morning, the majority of the entries are blank. Which means that there was nothing to report. Nothing of note happened, so... You truly are students from the land of the rising sun. You've been utterly blinded by it. Sorry? Your logic, my boy, is inverted.
Whatever do you mean?
Observe the other pages, and all shall become clear. It would seem the same crewman oft stands sentry in his first-class passageway, and he has an almost religious practice of recording nothing to report every half hour. Oh, he writes that in every 30 minutes?
Report.
Precisely. Put simply, the seaman writes nothing to report when there is just that. And yet, the ship's log from last night is largely blank. He didn't even write nothing to report.
You mean...
Yes, there were circumstances afoot last night, which led to the seaman being absent from his post.
What kind of circumstances? What happened?
That remains a mystery for now, but we can be sure something significant took place. So significant that it caused the seaman to forget his regular habit of scribing nothing to report in the log. These are important details. I would stake my life on it. You must log the ship's log in your mental file.
Alright, court record. I think we might go to court, honestly.
Now that deduction was worthy of a great detective.
In Hong Kong.
I think it's just called the court record. I don't know, honestly. Who knows? I have no idea. Ah, what you're starting to understand, what my way is, I see what makes Sholmes Sholmes. Brilliance. Oh, ouch. What is it? Are you hurt? He also ate food. Oh, don't worry yourself. I seem to be afflicted with a throbbing head this morning for some reason. Nothing more. Well, my friends, until our next encounter.
Whoa.
I'm just gonna do that when we have the sections. Where the deductions. He's still singing to himself. I can hear it as he wanders off down the passageway. Is something wrong, Susato-san? You seem lost in thought.
Just, well, I feel the same.
Sorry?
Ever since I woke up this morning. Sort of was throbbing.
Oh, you too? Oh, what do you want me to do now, game?
Run it back to the food.
I guess that's probably a fair point. How investigations go in Nate's turn, I will say you missed that one thing, and you just scramble around just trying to find it. And plus, like, half the time you don't have these check marks. You don't have these, like, the indicator doesn't change, like if it's something you're supposed to investigate or not. Actually, I think it does do that, but it doesn't like show you if you like investigate something or if you have to investigate it again. So honestly, this check mark is a huge quality of life thing, honestly. What the heck do I do? No.
It's the longest one. Oh, okay.
Right. Investigate something else again. Aha!
What's that?
Shut down the engines immediately! Vessel sighted a quarter-mile for! Full stop! Hard to starboard! All hands brace for impact!
Alright.
What the?
I think we're about to crash into another ship.
What?
Oh, the screen.
I can't stand.
Tusato-san, hold on to me! Wag!
What the heck?
Tusato-san, are you alright? Are you injured at all?
I'm fine. Thank you, Naruhodo-san.
No,
Looks like
I
we avoided a
swear,
collision.
if it makes us investigate everything that has now been tipped over.
I think...
Yes, the ship had come to a stop.
Oh my goodness, what about you, Naruhodo-san? Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine.
Hello, is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance.
Oh, that sounds like... Inspector Hosonaga. Is that you in the Naruhodo-san? Unbolt the door, quickly! What? The bolts? The... Oh. Oh,
Look at
that's what
that.
happened. I see. The door's bolted. Did you do that, Susato-san?
No, I didn't touch it.
Although, you know what's funny? There's all the sailors in here, and now they're not. Well, that's strange.
It's true.
Oh, also, we didn't even come to this room now that I think about it. How did... And look at all the books. They're just like they were before again.
Naruhodo-san, aren't you going to open the door and let the inspector in?
Well, we are in the girls' room still.
That's what I meant we were in our
Yeah,
room.
that makes sense. Yeah, no, okay. I better tidy this place up first. Oh, yes! Tidy the entire room before letting the person in! Our violent emergency stop had solved one mystery at least, in a very vivid way. But I knew that what awaited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant. I hurried around, tidying up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart.
Wow, look at that. We're just gonna... I'm telling you, we're going to court.
This is why we did not finish this last time.
They're really long. That was part 2, we're in part 3 now. Okay. You...
Probably over
Part
after part
2
3,
parts,
right?
So there's 2 parts, dude.
Well, no, like... No. Not like that.
So this is pretty standard.
I mean, the fact that we are not in the trial is not. Somehow the door to the cabin we ended up in bolted after we made an emergency stop. Sato-san took a deep breath and gently slid back the bolt.
Yo, what are you doing in Miss Pavlova's quarters?
Ah, you both look unhurt. Good. Yes, we're fine. Thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship. Yes, it appears to have been a false report, though. Oh, how did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop.
Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming. Crew are running everywhere.
This first glass area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. Someone triggered the alarm. Does that mean that someone pressed that button outside?
It's like, dude.
You wicked intruder dressed all in black, you are the devil.
Sorry, me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil was a first.
You opened my traveling case, how could you?
What? No, we didn't touch it.
Right, Miss... It's already open when we came to the cabin. Inspector!
Yes?
Arrest this man, I know he did it. He's a criminal. It is not enough that he's killed this man, a man.
Ah, and he stole as well. A vixen promises not to steal chicken, do you believe?
Ugh.
Take him away. He's a trespasser as well as everything else.
Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She is right, you are devil.
Doesn't look good, does it?
There is a cell below deck. Throw him in.
Oh.
Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. Then we give you straight to police.
Is it normal for it to have a cell? Like, I don't find that incredulous. Because, like, if
That's
some...
not normal.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought too, though.
They would make like quarters and have someone.
I don't know, it's just like, if someone acted up on the ship, like, what else are you gonna do?
I'm sure they have like, yeah, like maybe.
Wait, a cell?
Please, Inspector Hosonaga, is there nothing you can do?
This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options.
Terrible.
This is a real crisis. I've gotta find a solution. Immediately. Oh boy, here we go. Time to examine stuff
great.
again.
I need to find something immediately.
Nice to keep calm and focus on the task at hand, which is investigating. Alright.
Touch my things. You want me to show you what crawfish hibernates?
Okay.
Oh, which
That was
next?
clearly not the move.
Mr. Nutholo, what are you doing?
Wow, everyone's attacking me, and I was just starting to think she was my friend. Okay. Clearly that was a mistake. Is there anyone who can help me out of this mix? Where's Herlock? Where's Herlock Sholmes? That's not
Oh
what
no.
it's nothing though.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
I was about to say, like, he's definitely in this room, but where am I gonna find him? What the? What are you doing up there? Mr. Sholmes! And he's wearing the tiara. Naturally, I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective, my business to know what other people do not? This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no, no. Well, why were you hanging from the hook before then? Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of 20,000 rubles, naturally. I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited looking hook on the wall, so full and braggart mouths. Ugh, I never know whether to take this man seriously or not. Oh, it's you again, the great detective. Ah, Inspector, I've confessed I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently. Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than the hook on the wall next time.
Hopefully they kill off some of your characters.
What is to report? Speak.
No one ever dies after the first murder, are you kidding me? Until the next case, of course. An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Yes, the case of the curious murder that took place last night here on this vessel, the steamship Buria, has been solved by me, naturally.
What? Really?
Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. So, allow me to illuminate all your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Alright, is this the section? Nope.
Ah, you have solved it. Even Hedgehog understands this case. We all knew who was responsible for killing student boy this morning when we found criminal in wardrobe.
With a K. To emphasize.
It is this stowaway and his handcuffs to prove it.
I didn't do it! The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. That's not the voice acting. Because, as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who was inside the cabin.
Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery. Detective stories.
Ah, locked room, that is point.
The room was locked.
You know, I gotta say, at least the characters are split pretty evenly right now in this room. At least it's not like a 5-1 split. Well, I can't deny that. There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin. You are all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all.
What?
Oh yes, there is another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door. What other entrance? Never discovered one. Why, it gapes open-mouthed at you even as we speak. The ventilator, man. That's kind of weird. The ventilator.
You think this is funny? I cannot even put my arm to that hole.
That's because your arms are as thick as a tree trunks.
It's a tree.
You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening. It's not possible. Ah, but it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in act of passing through the ventilator.
I mean, are you referring to the words Casimus wrote in 1:23 AM? I can hear a faint whistling. 1:35, what looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
Maybe it's a bird because the whistling. Precisely, my dear madam. But what does it mean? What is this speckled band? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin.
Cat.
Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing?
We're doing another.
There's a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I am about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your cores. Behold!
Gotta get it.
What the?
Fake, huh?
Not the pet I was expecting.
Oh.
Well played, Ace Attorney. Allow me to introduce you all to the band, the speckled band. A snake? Indubitably. I don't know, she seemed very shocked too. Probably a pet still. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say?
In this case, you'd have striped band, wouldn't you?
You both see and observe with distinction, however. Do you not think that is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall?
My goodness, really? It's a trap?
How exactly? I think perhaps it is time I explain the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova?
Sorry for the young man. Oh, that has nothing to do with me. The whole thing has nothing to do with me.
There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one, last night, your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. And number two, that same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life. Oh, the snake strangled him? No, I don't know, this seems wrong still. Turned as white as a bowl of rice again. Jones was right, he's hit the nail on the head. I don't know about this.
We gotta
There's
fix
no
we gotta
way.
fix his thing again.
I know, but I'm just wondering like what the heck fetch happened. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Asuki? It looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head. I would advise as little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend of you in your neck. So everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Alright, here we go, guys. This is why I bought this prop.
Here it freaking is.
Topic 1. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. I can't snap with that finger. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. Yet, you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall these horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the riding serpent we see before us. Okay, so it's not, yeah, it's like I thought, it's not the snake. And yet, the fact that leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit the description in any way. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this.
Oh, but it does! You have the answer to this quandary, even now, hidden behind your back. Wow, did she just straight up murder him? Yes, that which you are trying but failing to conceal can only be a snake's sloughed skin. Did she just kill him? Why? Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend shed its original skin, no?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, your then speckled friend slithered next door. Using the bell cord on the other side of the bridge, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared to the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled bandit. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime is a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it sloughs its skin. A snake so dreadful, we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. This is taking an interesting turn. I definitely do not know where this is going. Do not know where this is going. Oh, that's right. We got more topics. How Mr. Asuki died. Moving on, we've come to the heart of the matter. The grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. Now, if we take that as a fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime.
Oh no, could there be?
Yes, an examination of the deceased's dead body will prove the cause of death conclusively. The almost, but not quite, imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestiges of the snakebite delivered by your terrifying friend.
This makes no sense.
There is no point feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling cape. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt.
You don't.
It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound he made minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to train your serpent friends.
You train?
Indeed, you put the serpent through his ventilator and wait. After a period, you'd summon back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty. so you listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared to have been dispatched, you'd release the snake once more. Not to have been dispatched. Do you deny the snake has undergone such training?
That's not true.
Having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell, or the creature only needs to sink its fangs in once. And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the speckled man that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt, my logic is infallible. Alright, here we go.
I don't even know where you would go with this.
I actually don't know where this is going anymore.
Kind of like a cluster.
Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of the speckled band. Alright, time to fix this stuff. Let's get this right. Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There, on the floor, you will observe a saucer of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Incredible! You've solved the mystery! Amazing! Your great deduction really lives up to its name. I see now why Sherlock Holmes has become such a household name. My dear man, it was nothing remarkable, as the Russians say. I could have done it with one left hand.
I venture an.
But of course, what's on your mind?
Just about your deductions, or some things don't quite make sense to me.
I welcome questions as to my method, and will answer both loudly and proudly.
Well, good. First of all, snakes are egg-laying creatures in the reptile family.
You are well informed, madam. Because no one
And
could know
reptiles,
this.
don't drink milk.
Ah! You are too well informed, madam.
It's really only mammals that like to drink milk. So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward.
No matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova used some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example, the logic holds.
Well, there's something else. Snakes have no ears.
Ah!
Yes, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal to a snake by whistling. Yeah, what the frick? How do snakes... There you go.
Yeah, aren't
base
there
up
snake charmers?
100%. Yeah.
I don't
Whoa,
know.
hold on. Snakes can for sure hear sounds.
This is something worth looking up.
Snakes hear.
Look up how snake charmers work. How do...
Scientists have long struggled to understand how snakes, which lack external ears, sense sounds. Snakes have fully formed inner ear structures, but no eardrum. Instead, their inner ear is connected directly to their jawbone, which rests on the ground as they...
So they're able to sense sound.
Like, they have hearing capability.
Yeah.
'Cause have you seen those headphones that, instead of going in your ears, they go right here, and you hear the sound?
No, but I...
Let me show you.
Interesting.
Like, yeah, you hear it literally as if it's in your ear, but no one else can hear it. Headphones on... What is this called? Temple? I'm not making it up. Yeah, they're these things. Well,
Okay, well... I
but
mean...
the whole point is it's not in your ear.
I
and
guess.
it's not playing sound into your ear, it's playing it through your bone. Like, the whole point is no one can hear the sound. And it doesn't play, it plays through your bone. And your bone...
Conduction's headphones.
Yeah, your bone conducts the sound into your...
Weird. Okay, well...
So if they hear it through their jaw, but even then, snake charmers on it.
Well, let's... I don't know, let's see how they explain their way out of this one, if they do.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But madam, what are the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard
Oh my
of
gosh,
snakes
look at
that
this, they're
dance
literally
to the
together.
sounds of flutes? See, they got this.
I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movement.
I don't know about that one. Oh, I see. I don't know about that
I don't
one.
know about that one.
No hands, no feet, no ears. These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless. Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Sholmes.
There's one other thing.
You have more?
Snakes use the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb up a flat bell cord like the ones in...
They need to try harder.
Please, don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snake could have part in this.
Alright, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think they did the research with the snake and the whistling thing, but I'm not sure. I'm not
For
sure.
sure snakes can hear sound. But probably just in a... like, more through vibration.
Yeah, I don't know like how accurate or inaccurate it is at the very least that they could have trained it through whistling.
I think... we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh no, you don't mean...
Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions and turn them into the great ones they ought to be.
I had a feeling this was coming. Alright, let's give it a try. Just what I was waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, right. So, cast your eyes down to your wrists again.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Okay.
You've done it again.
Your handcuffs are gone.
Where did they go? Fear not. I shall see they're restored after all work is done. I really wish you'd leave them off. Watch, we're gonna get locked in prison one of these times, and he's just gonna straight break us out. Now, everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Alright, here we go.
Hold it, Mr. Sholmes.
Hold it.
Hold it.
Okay.
Nice, man. You ate the tea bag!
Does have a pained expression on her face. No, not this. Don't move that.
At me? She looks as though Cosmos on this death is weighing heavily on her mind.
Can you never tell where this thing is pointing?
I can't.
But you're not sure Mr. Holmes has read...
Where's my animation of their mouth opening? Oh, not just 2 frames.
has read her quite correctly, is that it? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression then?
Take a moment and really look very closely at Miss Pavlov. Aching heart. Hello. Oh, what? Oh, Naruhodo-san, look! A very painful wound.
It looks like a scratch made by some kind of small animal. And fairly recently, too.
Well, whatever scratched her doesn't appear to be around here. Yeah. What else is causing her pain?
Oh, we have to present it.
Yes! Yes!
Yes! Yes, when you recall these horrid events, that claw scratch smarts with pain. Indeed, and simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh. Wow, doesn't skip a beat, he's just right on it.
There it is.
He's like, yeah, obviously, Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch sometime last night?
I think about the young man who died next door. I feel so sad. When I'm sad, the pain from this wound is worse.
And it is that very yep.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. That's good.
It seems likely that the scratch marks on the back of Miss Pavlova's hand was made by this friend of hers, doesn't it? Except, snakes don't have claws, do they?
No, they don't. They don't even have hands or feet or ears or in which claws might grow.
Well then, they're useless creatures. If that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of this friend of hers?
Should follow her gate, Naruhodo-san. That's where we'll find the answer.
Okay, I've learned what I'm gonna name this stream. Snakes are useless. Gonna change that real quick.
Snakes are useless. How balls idle animation?
Let's see. Live. Edits.
Edit it.
Oh, whoops! I accidentally left this as unlisted. Gotta
No
change
wonder
that.
we get no viewers. I'm sitting here wondering where Colton's content
Honestly,
is.
right? All right. Anyway, let's see. What was
Snakes
I
are
fetching?
useless.
Snakes are useless. Well, this makes a lot more sense now. This is why you check the stream, I guess.
As I know, I kept looking for the. Finally, the content I've been waiting for.
Okay, well, I don't know if it shows up if you started streaming and then you change it public.
A re-intro. Hey guys. No.
Well, I don't know if if it pops up as with a notification if you change the status.
Stop and start it.
Nah, it's
You
fine.
can text it to everyone if you want.
I don't care.
I'll text it to
No, it's fine.
Colton.
Hi.
Content you've been waiting for.
What is he gonna do? Come in halfway on the stream? It's better at this point to just come back in the beginning.
Look at Tobey Maguire.
Looks the same,
Really?
doesn't he?
I've never seen him with facial hair.
I mean, okay, I mean, his face looks very similar though. Man, it's not aged very much.
Anyway, snakes are useless.
Anyway, here we keep going. Rip. Next time, guess better check.
All right.
Okay, where does the trailer? Oh.
Yes!
Yes. You were looking over at this framed photographic print, weren't you, Miss Pavlova? But let's not be distracted by the print itself. Oh no. It's the frame that was your friend. That's not what I wanted at all! Because it's so beautifully displays what you put inside it. What spectacularly contrived logic led you to this mindless conclusion? Oh, well, it's supposed to be logic and reasoning spectacular, so I thought I'd contribute to
Is
the
this a
show.
mistake?
Yeah, because I think I clicked on... I think it's because
Yeah,
I didn't examine it. This is my show, Mr. Naruhodo. Kindly perform any peculiar experiments on your own stage. Ugh, sorry.
Oh no, we're gonna lose.
Oh no!
We're gonna lose.
That's when we restart, you know? Pretend like nothing ever happened.
Okay.
Okay.
Try again.
Yep. I know. Okay, I think it's because I didn't examine the photograph. Yeah, that's stupid.
Oh, but
That's
it is the
stupid.
photograph.
Ah, look, the photograph in this frame is be something Pavlova brought with her when she ran away.
Annie.
That's not
She's
your lie.
exceptionally beautiful, isn't she?
Yes, that's true, but personally, it's the little black creature she's holding that's caught my eye.
I gotta take a
Alright. Maybe we better take a closer look at this. But I mean, I think it's gonna switch off of this in just a moment.
I like it.
Oh, yes, you have to examine and then present the little kitten. Of course. Of course. Without a doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us. Mixing
Yes.
Yunosuke and Stroms. Yes, the scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear.
Oh no! Oh no!
The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear, but what is clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you?
Darka! It's my best friend. I couldn't leave her behind.
What a name. Daraka would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit the description in any way.
Oh, good point. Oh, no hat. Recorded.
What explanation can we give, pray? What was the sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? Hey, I'm being Yunosuke right now.
No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this.
Oh, but it does! You have the answer to this quandary, even... Okay, wait. What is this?
Bandana.
Why would she take it
Yeah,
out
that's
of her
stupid,
pocket and
yeah.
hide it behind, whatever. You know what? I'm not gonna question this. If she just left it in her pocket, no one would ever have known.
Yes, boys like that are Mr. Specialty. Never so cleverly forced her to
Oh,
reveal
of course,
something.
it was because of Sholmes.
Of course.
I thought deduction was a specialty, or maybe making me believe that was a ploy too.
Anyway, kinda hard to believe that's the skin of a snake.
In which case, just what is Miss Pavlova hiding behind her back? Is there a way to move down, or? Examine it, I guess. Well, it is speckled and it is a band, but what is it? It seems to be soft and fluffy. Long piece of cloth
with
of
her
some sort.
cat.
Oh.
Her cat was in the room and she's trying to get her cat to come back and she... Well, come here.
And that looks like a handle at one end.
I think it may be a cat's toy. This is sort of common in the West, apparently.
How is that a toy for cats?
Cats like to put the band around and at it. Kittens in particular love that sort. Really need to wave it in front of them and they...
Get our local cat expert to verify this.
Where's
Where's Aldo at? Ha, that sounds positively adorable. Wait, so it reached all the way through the ventilator? That's kind of crazy.
Yes! Yes.
Yes! The thing you are trying, but failing to conceal, is, a cat's toy. Precisely, and the true nature of the now infamous speckled band. And it was this toy that you dangled through the ventilator. You waved it around, I presume. Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it. But why? For what reason? My dear boy, there can only be one answer to that. After her feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat's toy to incite the creature to return. Ah. In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova's which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime is a blithesome Russian blue breed of cat by the name of Darka. A truly troublesome feline young Darka is proving to be. She must be caged once found. You will forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pets, Miss Pavlova. My pockets.
I gave her... When it happened...
Ah, she knew it was drugged. The cat knew.
The back of my... ran up the bell cord.
It's all coming together.
Before I could do anything. Through the vent.
I don't know why this.
She goes, steps up, hangs it through. See. Maybe. So not.
Oh. Not quite sure.
Intruder's identity.
Oh well.
Oh yeah.
I guess we'll
forgot about
time to solve this. This will help clear a lot of things up. I feel like. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter. Okay, wait, I read this.
Demise of the victim.
Beep, beep, beep. Right there. Right there. Terrible venom.
Alright.
Holmes says is true. There were no signs of a wound anywhere on Cosmo's.
That's right. But Mr. Sholmes seems to be forgetting a key detail. Cosmo wasn't poisoned.
Yes, it would seem. Let's give him the information he's missing now. Toxicology report.
Postmortem report?
Yes!
Toxicology.
It contains a toxicology report.
In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the postmortem report. Ah, yes! I knew it was one or the other.
His neck was...
Indeed, the breaking of the cervical vertebrae is fatal. Only a Goliath would be strong enough to survive that. Demon Stroganoff isn't some immortal freak, you know. The jury is out. Anyway, we have on good authority that the victim's neck was broken.
So this...
Now, if we take that as a fact, I don't know.
Where did the snake come from?
I don't know. This is why I'm not sure this is where this is headed. Cosmo died because his neck was broken. Okay, it was broken for sure. In other words, he was probably struck by something or someone.
Yes, that's a possibility. As of yet, no weapon is found though.
Presumably, Darka didn't silently creep up behind Kazuma and deal him a fatal blow. Imagine the cat just jumps down from the ventilator, whoocha, just kills him.
Just pounces on him.
Also, that he had a fall and hit the ground. It would have been a terrible act of misfortune that he broke his neck completely by accident.
Or instead, the
Cat
cat
jumps on him.
pounces, he's just surprised and falls over and dies. And then scribbles in Russian. Oh yes, Bat Fall could explain it. Wow, he shows up
It's rather...
without fail. Welcome to the stream.
Oh, there it is. The time has finally arrived.
Sorry for not being a public stream for the past hour.
Oh, I'm so down to get to level 30. It's rather hard. Cosmos. Don't know, Mike. He wasn't a clumsy man.
Well, we need to fix this deduction somehow. Yeah, he's almost there. He's level
Wait,
29 right now.
This isn't League of Lego.
Is there anything from the scene that it could explain what happened? Animation. Cause of death conclude. Wait, what am I trying to prove right now? I wasn't paying enough attention.
Examination of the body. So body.
I'm just gonna try presenting and it'll give me a hint and I won't figure out what I'm actually trying to present. As a guest, I'm gonna set this for now.
Yes!
I think I just guessed right. An examination of the mark on the floor will... Yes! An examination of the mark on the floor will prove the cause of death conclusively. How does this prove the cause of death? I don't even know! This particular mark, so prominently visible next to the victim's body, is a deposit of shoe polish.
Shoe polish?
Indeed! Positively identified by a little analysis device I constructed, which I carry now as a matter of course. Beeswax, tallow, and dye were my results, the undeniable ingredients of shoe polish. And the color of the polish is the perfect match to the color of Mr. Asuki's lace leather shoes. Wow. Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. Isn't it? For some reason,
I have no idea.
Mr. Asuki must have caught his foot at the point on the floor and tripped. Wait. Is
Maybe
that
he tripped over the snake?
that bell the cat's bell? Oh, it's the cat's bell.
He trips over the cat.
Please, no.
No way. Is that how he dies? No. I bet that's what she thinks happened. But then
it's
someone
not.
actually came and killed him. And by a dreadful turn of misfortune, caught his neck against some immovable object as he fell to the floor. Suffering a fatal blow to the spine, the victim's vertebrae shattered, and in an instant, he lost his life.
No!
Okay, I think it's coming together now.
I don't know.
Someone here was actually sent
I
to...
don't know anything about this.
Someone was actually sent to assassinate him.
Wait, I'm not in this video.
No, someone actually was sent to assassinate him. She thought she saw him die. Especially, no, she probably didn't even think that, but at the very least, seeing him the next morning, that thought he was dead because of Darka. But then someone probably actually was trying to kill him, which is why all the food was drugged. But then they were probably trying to knock everyone out. But he was already knocked out, probably, and they just murdered him on the spot. I don't know who it is, though.
So confusing.
It's
But no, but then she's writing something.
That could be any of the Russians. Is that true, Miss Pavlova? I bet it's the captain. We haven't seen them yet. I bet it's the captain. If we see the captain, it's them. What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Asuki lost his life? Yes, the facts are as clear as day to me. You did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence. Not very well, apparently. But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. Okay, this is the reading.
I don't believe it. Cosmos someone merely tripped over and now he's no more? It can't be true. I refuse to.
A pretty lame death, I'd have to say. I know it's hard to believe, but the mark on the floor does seem to suggest that's what's happened. And if this part of Mr. Sholmes'
It
deduction
literally
is
was
right...
just butt. It literally was.
Well, I mean, if this part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction is right, Miss Pavlova was trying to hide some evidence that would prove it. Here in this cabin, somewhere where our eyes
Where?
went.
I wonder.
Let's have a good look around. The answer must be somewhere.
Behind the chair.
Ah, somebody appeared to have dropped 20,000 rubles here.
Dropped now where the sign has been.
Starting to sound like Mr. Sholmes.
Stop trying to sound like the great detective.
Okay, so not that.
Trash?
Oh, maybe it is the trash actually. This is where Miss Pavlova hid her friend.
After all.
No, it was that little kitten, Darka. Not that it's been anywhere to be seen now. But it let itself out of the case and gone exploring.
In fact, it's wrapped itself around someone. They're trying to make a new.
Either that or it's scratching their hand to pieces. Point is, where has it gone to?
The waste paper basket. All the person.
Pavlova only started occupying this cabin last night. Presumably, there's not much rubbish in there yet. I literally examined this earlier. Oh, what's that?
A broken piece of glass, isn't it?
And this didn't catch my attention earlier? Yes, it is. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before.
It looks familiar, perhaps more than your mind some tricks on it.
Yes!
Thought I'd present the bell inside the case, but let's present the basket, I mean. That's right, you hid the evidence that leads you to the victim's death in the that waste paper basket.
Oh!
Here we have a fragment of some intricate glass object, it would seem. One that has a familiar air, in fact. Precisely, we found another piece of broken glass on the floor in Mr. Asuki's cabin. And as you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly.
Oh no.
So, Miss Pavlova, shall we consider what this tells us? Why would it be that part of this glass object, which was evidently broken at the scene of the victim's death, should be found in the waste paper basket in your cabin?
Oh, God!
You're well acquainted with this glass bell, are you not?
I don't.
I don't know, in that hushed Russian accent of yours. Won't say you this time, dear girl. Why? Because we have conclusive evidence linking you to the bell in question.
What?
Take it away, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes! And before neither of them actually knows, the evidence linking Miss Pavlova and the little glass bell, that would be...
You should mess with them.
Yes, obviously. Go! Present it.
Yes!
We didn't
Yes.
examine it, so it's not gonna work.
If you look at this photograph, you can clearly see, hanging from Darka's collar, the very glass bell in question. That's what it said. The truth has caught up with you, Miss Pavlova. The young man who lost his life last night did so after a truly inauspicious fall. And the cause of that fateful stumble? Your absent feline friend, Darka.
Maybe it was her, and then she wrote in Russian to try.
Oh, she read in Russian to cover. Maybe actually, it could be.
I couldn't tell anyone. I'm sorry.
Nah, there's no way it's her, cause she's like the first obvious suspect.
I mean, it's in there. Death by tripping over a cat.
Nah.
Lock her up. Right to jail. Right to jail.
She's the killer. Lock her up.
Right to jail.
What to jail?
Her up.
Why don't you tell us now, Miss Pavlova? Tell us exactly what happened last night.
A little after 1 in the morning. So late, but I had Darka, so I gave her some food. And all of a sudden,
She scratched me and jumped out of my hands.
People do say that cats become very anxious and nervous in new environments.
Or when does this game take place?
Look up when Sherlock Holmes was supposed to be alive.
Yeah, it's like old enough to where the Japanese are just barely. The Japanese don't have a court system. How old is it?
This 1800s, I think? 1900s? Somewhere that 100-year span, I think.
Photographs are new.
Yep.
Whenever cameras aren't. She's so fat. Later, stop her.
And that is how you acquired that rather nasty wound on the back of your hand, I take it.
Yes. Read the rules on the wall. I knew that I was not allowed Darka with me.
Yes, most modern science suggests that animals can carry infectious diseases. It's a precaution, really.
Hey, listen. There was some noise. Very quiet. Sure, if someone was there, he must be sleeping. That's
So
when
at
you
that
thought
point,
it's...
you thought it was safe to try and lure the kitten back again. By dangling the end of the toy through the ventilator and into the adjoining cabin.
I always loves this, but it didn't work. Nothing worked. I tried using her favorite toy, I tried whistling softly. Didn't return.
The faint whistling sound Cosmo wrote about in his diary was Miss Pavlova trying to retrieve her pet. But that means Cosmo wasn't dead by this point.
Yeah.
Cats have a propensity to remain hidden in the shadows when frightened. WTF is also not wearing? Obviously he's wearing a sailor outfit. Cause he's a seaman.
So there was nothing else I could do. To wait until she calmed down. Then...
Of death. First blood.
I nearly passed out with shock.
Fatality.
I heard her cry out and then... Oh, it was such a dreadful bang. Then afterwards, nothing. Totally...
Kazuma was
late 19th century.
From the appearance of the brown mark on the floor, it seems likely that what you heard was the victim stepping on the glass bell and tripping up. Step on the glass bell unless it fell off the cat. The SS Buria is a large vessel, but even she can pitch and roll violently without warning. If Mr. Asuki was already off balance as a result of the ship's lurching when the kitten got under his feet, the combination of unfortunate factors could have easily caused him to fall over. But what became of the kitten afterward?
I managed to get her to come.
Yeah, see, she never went into the room, so that means she didn't write, probably. So there's no way she's the victim. Yet Daka is nowhere to be seen.
And this is what I'm saying.
It's true, she could be lying, but I get the feeling it's not her.
I must have forgotten to look. Now she's disappeared again.
Meiji era. Gracious, that cat is as insufferably restless as I am. Well, he knows something about himself, at least.
I woke this that a young cabin next to mine had died. I couldn't bring myself to tell what had happened. I was so scared. Scared they would send me back.
Oh, hold on a minute. What about the snake? You're right! Where is it? If the snake isn't your friend, Miss Pavlova, then whose is it, and where did it come from? What on earth is such a dangerous creature doing on board this ship?
Oh, I didn't say. Snake is my friend. His name is Burosko.
Hmm? What? That snake belongs to you?
He escaped from cage when emergency alarm sounded. I was looking for him. I did not expect to find him here.
Yes, how did that snake get into this cabin?
So glad I have dinner entertainment.
Although you gotta let us you can go watch it later, but
Although the cat just killed someone.
yeah, we just had a cat come up. Come on, it was a kitten too. Animals are not permitted on board.
Ah, we are at sea for 1 year. You want to be so long without close friend, without someone who understands.
Man, what are all these people who are lacking friends?
Academic.
Couldn't you find this game's too relatable? Couldn't you find someone a little more human who understands you better? But my dear burly fellow, a gargantuan venomous snake. Surely you can appreciate the danger you're putting everyone in. No, oh, that's you. No venom. No venom.
All those here.
Pirosco does not have venom. He is harmless, very long but very gentle. He is adorable like Granny.
It's venomless? That's not the right accent.
Yes, now he is hungry, so he's in bad mood. But once I feed,
Yeah, so friendly.
once I feed him,
He's
you'll see
hungry.
a big smile.
Haven't you seen someone hangry before? We have a 4-man for league. Sorry, Matt doesn't have his computer. We play tandem. I play keyboard, he plays mouse. And you feed him what? Milk, I suppose?
Ha! Like they say, they milk chickens ridiculous. Snakes that drink milk are only in stupid stores. Pirosco eats mouses. Big fat round mouses.
Ah, oh, so is that what the moss trap in the passageway out there is for? Oh, Aldo, let me show you the kitten. I guess Matt probably sent it to you, but kitten. All right, kitten. All right, now enough of that. Going back.
Of course. How else can I catch my friend's favorite?
Nothing says top of the food chain like the look in their eyes right now. It refuses to drink milk. It can't hear a whistle. It can't climb up a bell cord. It's not even venomous. How the deuce did something so inept land a starring role?
It's not my fault. I do not make up stories. My Pirosco has nothing to do with this incident.
Well, that's what happened. That's the truth behind my best friend's tragic death.
Nah.
Nah. We ain't done just yet.
Nope, you better bring it up. Teacher, you gave us homework last week. Pavlova?
That is definitely this character.
I understand the difficulty you found yourself. You sympathize. Please remember. The young man lost his life. If you're going to attempt to cover up your guilt and lies, then no matter what the circumstances, I cannot forgive you. What?
What are you talking about, Miss Mikotova? What lies? Miss Pavlova just confessed everything. It was just a series of unfortunate events, an accident.
Nah.
Sholmes knows.
No great detective like Mr. Sholmes, and I don't have a gift for knowing the truth. But even I can say that was not the truth. Don't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, she looks too shady. Perfectly honest, yes. There's a discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure.
What's the discrepancy? Oh, the Russian.
I can't quite put my finger on it. I confess, I was intending to let Scotland Yard deal with any outstanding issues in the matter. Oh. I am only present here for a very specific reason. The truth is, you, Mr. Naruhodo, are simply a distraction. A distraction? I do hope you've not been finding your shackles too uncomfortable. Ah, not again. When did he do that? Especially as they are on your wrists as a result of my intervention. I was rather hoping I could resolve matters before we made our next port call. Mr. Naruhodo-san, give us the details. What? Who were Mr. Sholmes? Wait, what? Were Mr. Sholmes? Yes, but I overlooked one important detail. The deceased young man was a very close companion. Was he not? Yes. Kazuma was my closest friend. I owed him my freedom, even. In that case, We must follow this to its conclusion. No further distractions. You must uncover the real truth here, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, whatever that may be. The key to this is the discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure. If I can chase that down, maybe the truth will become clear. I don't know, is it her? I feel like it's not, especially because we don't know where the cat is yet. Truth about how you really died, about how the scene in your cabin really came to be. Do you think it's her? No. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Excellent.
Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo.
So then, shall we begin? Yes. Yes. What should we ponder first?
Russian.
It's the victim who lost his life in a cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. Was this truly an unfortunate accident? Or was it in fact no accident at all? That is what we must establish in the first instance. But we've already established it, haven't we? The man tripped over the kitten that had climbed into his cabin via the ventilator. Tragic, yes, but still an accident. Hold it. Wait, let's just take a step back. It doesn't make sense if that's what really happened, does it?
Fire Emblem music right now.
I'm going to have to ask you to spell it out for me, I'm afraid. Yes, it's starting to take shape now. There's a clear contradiction between the facts and Miss Pavlova's story here. The evidence is right there in Kazuma's cabin. It's undeniable. His death couldn't have possibly been a mere accident. Really? Let us show our hand, Mr. Naruhodo. Time to present the evidence. The evidence that proves so unequivocally
Unequivocally.
the victim's
like
death
that
was
the
no mere
black dude's
accident.
minds, or it's like pronouncing things phonetically.
Unequivocally.
Yes, the truth is clearly recorded in this photographic print. There's no way that Mr. Asuki could have left this message on the floor. That script, it's Russian, isn't it? Indeed it is. The word means wardrobe. Yes, like Mr. Hosonaga, I have a peanut brain. And that guard's too small brain.
I'm small.
Like the rest of us, yep.
This
I
one
see
just-
what you mean.
The first case, I was like, oh, I got this. I was pretty on top of it. This one, nothing.
There's a few twists at the end that I didn't know, couldn't see coming, but yeah. Most people would leave a dying message in their native language, Japanese in this case.
But maybe he was studying Russian.
Oh, she saw us. Oh, shoot.
It is a simple language. He could have picked it up very fast.
That doesn't seem likely. That's actually not the point. It makes no difference whether you knew Russian or not. Lori, what do you mean? Exactly what I said before. There's no way that Mr. Asuki could have left this message on the floor, and the reason why is clearly explained in here. Damage to the cervical vertebrae resulting in instant death. Instant death. Ah. Which means, after the victim fell to the floor, he couldn't possibly have risen anything, because he was already dead.
That's
I don't
strange
know.
to hear. Anything else we found in Mr. Asuki's cabin? A remnant of something that couldn't possibly have been there. But Miss Pavlova told us was true.
Sus.
Sus, she's sus, dude.
Yes, sus. Well,
It's
what?
totally Among Us right now.
So Susato-san has noticed it too then. Putting it in this message flow inside, there's something else that gives the truth away. Another piece of evidence that proves there's no accident. In other words.
Yes! I don't know. The paper suit.
Because someone put it on, because we're saying it's not. Oh. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was thinking like someone had to put it on, because otherwise we didn't do it.
Okay, one more time. Remember they said they already came up with a way to do it?
Don't worry, Mr. Naruhodo, I still believe in you.
Yes, it's starting to take shape now. Alright, let's try this again. The evidence is in Cosmo's cabin, right
A
there.
glizzy.
Oh shoot, he's right! Okay, it's in Cosmo's cabin. Ah man, I was still sure it was that.
So there's one more thing, basically, that proves... Ship's log.
5. Accident?
I'd say ship's lock.
Yeah.
Alright, try it.
Yes!
Nope, that was wrong.
How do you know?
Music didn't stop. Is this how we lose?
We're gonna lose. There's no glizzy option. I don't know what to do.
We didn't investigate hard enough. We didn't find the glizzy.
Oops. What else is there?
Article about a revolutionary?
Oh, go away. Go back.
They're presented.
His diary for sure not. The pin? Pin from.
Oh, a little past 2 a.m. Past 2 a.m. It's just a student pin.
A little past.
I'm gonna try presenting this.
Yes!
Nope, it's wrong. Yes, alright, we're screwed.
Okay, two left. Think, we gotta think.
Think! Think more.
Okay, we only have so many more things to present.
Alright,
There's
alright.
no
here we go.
accident.
Oh, no. Presented already.
That makes sense. Okay, maybe we have to examine something. Blue. Okay, we read this.
He's left-handed. You already presented that photo.
Go with the bell, I guess?
I think it might be this.
Why would that prove that it's not an
Biggest glizzy in the world that you've ever seen.
I got nothing, dude. Alright, present the bell and the scuff mark, I guess.
Yes!
Oh, we're effed.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it is this!
Well, you
This!
lied.
This broken piece of glass next
The
to the
music
mark
keeps
floor.
playing.
Yeah, well, sometimes it does. That glass bell the kid had around its neck. We already know all about that. It was broken in half when the victim tripped over the cat. Oh, it's because it's maybe cleaning it. Huh? Do we already have a satisfactory explanation? Where's the flaw in that logic? Fortunately, there's a very big flaw. A fatal flaw. What? That's really what happened. And how did one have the bell end up back here in this cabin? Oh, yeah.
Remember that we found the other half of the glass bell in that waste paper basket? Try to explain that, Miss Pavlova?
Ooh, saved by the bell, just last minute. Both these pieces of evidence clearly point to the same conclusion. That when Mr. Asuki died in last night in his cabin, there was someone else in the room. And that same person deliberately arranged the scene to disguise the truth, in order to cover up his or her own guilt.
Maybe it was an accident, but she also covered it up.
Maybe.
Yes, there was someone else present. Mr. Asuki.
Whoa. Who was that? We were wasting time. Oh,
Someone else was there. Ah, of course, we know this.
what are you talking about?
Bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. There was no way in or out.
Oh, yes.
And the only other person in cabin when young student died was you.
Yes. Yes. It's true, I was in the cabin when it happened. You were shut inside the cabin wardrobe, to be precise about the details. But I don't know Russian, there's no way I would have left that message. Not would have. There's no way you could have left that message, to be precise about the detail. Would you mind? Forgive me, my dear fellow. As I was saying, the person in question wrote the word wardrobe in Russian on the floor. And an attempt to incriminate me for the crime, even though I had been asleep in there the entire time.
How would they know we're there, though?
And then the same
And
person...
then the same person picked up the broken glass bell that had fallen to the floor. For fear of it becoming evidence that would show how Mr. Asuki...
But why wouldn't have this person taken all the pieces of the bell away? Leaving half behind was always going to raise questions. Yes, well, it was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The cabin would have been quite dark. The single small lamp suspended from the ceiling would barely cast any light onto the floor. Ah, okay, I don't know about that one. Plus, like, you would notice, oh, I only have half a bell. Little wonder then that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of the tiny item.
You all suspect me, don't you?
Oh, the entire crew's in on it. Seaman Stroganoff finally got his name right.
Nina is woman of sea, daughter of strong sailor. 2 years ago they noticed her dancing skills and she went away to join ballet company. But before she was dancer on the ship, a member of ship's band. You do not accuse ship's angel of being criminal.
Ah, so that's it.
You say that when young student died, Nina was there in his cabin. But that is not possible. I give my tooth.
Well, this is almost interesting. And why would you give your tooth, pray? How can you be so sure?
You are a great detective. You look truth in eyes. Cabin bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. Nobody could go into cabin. Not Nina, not anyone. Or do you want to tell me that killer can walk through locked doors? Yet it's possible.
He's right. Good grief. I had no
Wait.
point.
I've read about this in detective stories. People often tie thread around door
Oh my
latches so they
gosh.
can open and close them from the outside.
Red, are you stupid? These bulkheads are not barn doors.
Certainly not. These are watertight doors, as one would expect to find on any modern steamship.
Don't realize what happened.
Constructed of heavy steel, with not a gap in sight, no threads or needles or magnets could have been used.
No, of course not. I thought so too. Mr. Naruto suggested it earlier, so...
Susato-san, how could you shift it onto me like that? So Seaman Stroganoff has a valid point. The cabin door couldn't have been bolted shut from the outside.
I'm going crazy.
Not necessarily.
What?
I put it to you that I could bolt this cabin door without laying a finger on it. And in this very cabin, we can see the traces of the method I have in mind having been used before. I don't believe it. Well, Mr. Naruto, I believe you know what I mean, don't you? A way to shut the bolt of the cabin door from the outside. One way does spring to mind, yes.
You really know what Mr. Sholmes means, Mr. Naruto?
Savage. Yes, and so should you. Because we've seen it happen. Indeed we have. So would you care to do the honors, Mr. Naruto? Right, finally. Oh man, we still only have 2 health.
Oh,
Look at the bookcase there.
savage.
See how all those books and things ought to have toppled over?
That must have happened when the ship made its emergency or
Yes, that's right. It's a very powerful vessel after all. When the engines are thrown into reverse, a violent jolt goes across the entire ship.
tell him
That's the main character from Danganronpa.
Oh.
Any small objects that aren't fastened down are bound to fall over.
I believe. Yes, it's what's known as the force of inertia acting on the objects.
Well, thanks for this physics lesson, Mikotoba. Is there nothing that Susato-san doesn't know, or isn't in her book at least? Well, whatever it's called, the same force pushed over the books those books on the bookcase. But now that I think about it, yeah, she has a lot of random facts in her books. Also made something else in this cabin move. The bolt on the cabin door. It was very obvious just after the emergency stop that the ship made earlier. We had come into this cabin not long before and we hadn't bolted the door. Then... Hello? Is anybody there?
Oh yes, that's it. When the ship stopped suddenly, the bolt flew across and locked the door.
Yes, it's made of metal, but it's small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden change in speed. Or for the force of inertia, if you want to call it that. Or are you trying to say that last night? After Mr. Asuki was killed? SS Furia made another emergency stop. When I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin, I thought it looked a little odd. All the books on the shelf had toppled over, and all the ornaments. It was almost as if someone had run their hand across the shelves and deliberately knocked everything over.
Yes, I remember that. Set them all up, right? Like an idiot.
Then when we came into this cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing in here. All the books and everything had been toppled over, just like in Mr. Asuki's cabin.
Oh my.
Do you have anything to say about this, Miss Pavlova?
Are you out of your mind? You say Boria made emergency stop.
It does seem a little far-fetched. How could that possibly have happened? Unless you're saying the culprit is actually someone from the engine room. Oh, it is simple enough. Are you forgetting the button in the passageway outside? Used to trigger the emergency alarm.
Oh yes, of course. There was a notice, wasn't there, telling you only to press the button in times of emergency?
On dark nights when the fog is dense, the captain can afford to rely on the eyes of his lookout alone. Hence the placement of a number of buttons around the vessel to allow any crewman to raise the alarm. This, the sort of button, one is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity.
Wait, it was you?
When the button is pressed, two things happen in the interest of safety. The emergency alarm bell rings and the vessel comes to a complete stop. As indeed it did a little earlier today. And he's coming after how much he wanted to push the button.
Surely it wasn't you.
As I always say, a button has but one purpose in life. To be pressed, whatever the occasion. He's the guy that ended the world. He sounds almost proud of himself.
How dare you mess with ship? I report you to Captain. You are in much trouble now.
Now, I'm sure all that can wait until later. Let us not overlook the fact that we have now learnt a valuable lesson. When the vessel makes an emergency stop, the bolts on the cabin doors slide closed. So, what we must now consider.
Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Asuki, did the ship make an emergency stop, or did it not?
You are idiots. Boria is a huge ship with many passengers. We make emergency stop even in the middle of night. There would be chaos everywhere.
What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruhodo?
Rodrigo.
Well, it's certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea.
Really? What evidence, Mr. Naruhodo?
Fascinating! Do show us, my good man. This is the law.
Yes!
Yes. Seaman Stroganoff, it's your duty to patrol the first-class area of the ship, isn't that right? That seems like a flaw. What seems like a flaw? Can't just say that seems like a flaw.
Ah, that is correct. Why?
And the ship's log here. This is your duties to record in that.
What are you doing with that? That is mine.
You know, I've never understood in Taste Attorney if they actually carry around the evidence with them, or what? Because like
Yes, they
obviously,
do, yeah.
well, the book was still there though when you saw it, and the photo's still there. It's just,
I guess.
I don't know. Ah, you rather carelessly left it atop the little makeshift bureau in the passageway out there. I've never heard bureau used like that.
Okay.
But as responsible passengers, we took it into our care with a mind to return it to you later.
I left it there on purpose. It is where I put it always.
The point is, looking at what you usually record, it's clear that under normal circumstances, you write the phrase nothing to report. Bolts on the door slamming shut whenever the ship stops. Yeah.
What is it? When they slam back?
Yeah. But
It
also, like,
doesn't
if you're out of
normally
your
get
room,
locked.
technically you should probably have your key, right? Which you can probably unlock the bolts.
Oh, he's on to something. You're right, Colton. Where's key?
I would assume the room owners would have keys, right? No?
I-
But from 2 o'clock last night until first light this morning, nothing was recorded at all. Being recorded in the log?
That is... Ah, because nothing happened.
But if nothing happened, you'd normally write nothing to report, wouldn't you? Indeed so, which tells us that shortly after 2 a.m., Something happened here aboard the SS Borea. Something sufficiently significant to make you forget to fill in the ship's log, in fact.
Testing. It really did make an emergency stop in the middle of the night?
Stop talking rubbish.
If I'm perfectly honest, I find that a little hard to believe myself. Oh, why? Well, because if something as major as an emergency stop really had happened, surely all of us would have noticed.
Very true. Thanks to the emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like. The ship lurched so violently, and the alarm bell was so loud. I can't imagine that anybody would sleep through that, even if it happened in the dead of night.
Well, no, that's a good point. What of the throbbing? Sorry? What do you mean? Your head, man.
That feels so. Your head, man.
The throbbing of your head since this morning. We have all suffered with it. Oh, yes, I have a headache, you're right. In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today. Some of the other crewmen.
Nor have I. My head has been feeling heavy ever since dawn.
Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected. He's right, my head's been throbbing today too. And since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything has felt sort of hazy. I will say, I feel like the crew should be able to open every room in the ship. I can't really remember anything that happened after I climbed back inside the wardrobe. So yes, if the crew can't open the ship, I would say yes, that feels like a flaw. Then the first thing I noticed this morning was the throbbing pain in my head.
Also, if you think about it, maybe it's like, that is only a lock from the inside. Like, you normally lock your door normal, but then that's like an additional... They totally would have run into this problem before.
Yeah. I had already been dragged out of the wardrobe. Had these handcuffs put on me by that point. Why didn't I wake up when all that was happening to me? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, you boarded this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, well, yes, sorry. The stowaway class of accommodation doesn't usually include meals. What did you survive on? Well, Cosmo looked after me. He was always happy to share meals. Happy to share his meals. So you enjoyed some of the whole roast chicken dish that was served yesterday evening? Yes, in fact, I had all of that. Cosmo wasn't fond of chicken. Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all?
Vegan.
That's right, he didn't touch it. Is that relevant? My dear fellow, does that not strike you?
Oh, Mr. Ron,
The acid baby up.
Unless they're covering it up.
I do.
this is the 1900s. Worked out well.
No, really, is that true? Is that really true? The meal prepped for the passengers last night had been tampered with. Tampered with by the addition of a soporific designed to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it. A sleeping drug? Do you mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug so no one would notice the ship's emergency stop?
Of course, that's not what Mr. Holmes means. What a far-fetched idea.
Precisely. Lacing every meal of every passenger on board with a soporific drug would certainly be impossible. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator. What?
Mr. Holmes? That mean...
All of them, yeah. It's so person.
No, but the dude undercover, our undercover detective.
What about
you
it?
have to be undercover on it.
Ate the food. He was also knocked out.
I know, but why would he?
Because he didn't know.
But aren't all the crew in on?
Probably just the Russians.
All the Russians and.
Well, seamen. And then the engine room would be in on it, so they couldn't just ask the engine room, because the engine room would totally deny. I'm sorry to say that any more deception in this. get you nowhere. If you refuse to talk, there would have to be an inquiry made through the shipping company force. And were that to happen, every member of the crew and the captain himself will be hauled over the coals. Ship's crew really has something against this one dude for aiding and abetting a renegade.
Please, no more. I will tell everything.
Ugh.
I cannot make problems like this for everyone anymore.
These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe.
Yes, when I decided to run away, I asked them to help me.
We all agreed to help everyone together. She threw away everything, her fame in the ballet, Mother Russia. We wanted to help her aid.
I don't believe it.
You're right, we put sleeping drug in chicken last night.
Yes, I remember now. I did notice chewing on a lump with something strange and bitter at one point. Wait, but then why would they put the sleeping? Because they always put the sleeping drug in before, unless they plan to kill Kazuma from the very beginning, right? Because like
maybe
the
it
food.
was still an accident, but
I mean,
that happened.
I'm saying why was the chicken drugged in the first place? Because the accident happened after the chicken drugging.
We could not make all drug. How do you say it? All.
Ugh, talk about heavy seasoning.
At midnight in waters near Shanghai,
Oh.
we brought our
Okay.
angel up on board.
That's why they flipped it in the drugged. Okay, this makes sense.
She was helped by a comrade on shore with small fishing boat.
While all the passengers of the SS Burya slept slumberly. Thanks to the almost magical effects of the slumber-inducing potion their evening meals had contained. So if that's what happened, the only people awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who dislike chicken, and the newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlova. And that means it would have been possible for you. You could have used the emergency stop trick to lock Kazuma's cabin door.
Oh, they did the dinner on. Oh, but then how did? Because it's already on. Cause that thing. Yeah, so that's weird. They would have stopped again after.
Well,
Wait,
how
is
does
that
this
it?
make sense? Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked in that case, and there would have been complete chaos. Alright, well, looks like this is an event of getting to there. Nope, not yet. Okay, so it looks like they're bringing up all the contradictions that we're bringing up at the very least. Oh, I wouldn't say so. What? Ah, of course. Just like us, all the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chicken in their cabins. After which they would have...
Wait, is the title say that or what?
No. Definitely not. I definitely changed it. You all have me being paranoid now.
Yeah, I'm like,
Let's take
let
a
me
look.
check. Psych.
Yeah. Here, pull it up. I don't think it. Yeah, I never should.
Snakes are useless. The great ace.
And I'm just making
Get
sure.
out of here.
And you know, it's because everyone just wants to. That's the content everyone wants to see. You know.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Quite, and accordingly, all the passengers were not bad. All the passengers were already in their cabins for the night.
Yes.
Imagine if someone wasn't in their cabin and just collapsed on the floor. Or they're just like leaning over the rail. All of the ship. The
That's like a bad
overwhelming
idea.
majority of passengers would have habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted anyway. And so not one of them would have found it remarkable to find the door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolts of a single cabin door on it, yeah, honestly, you could probably unlock
Yeah,
it
so
from the outside.
if he had locked it, how did they get in to write the message? When Kazuma locked his own cabin door? Ace Attorney, this is messed up. You better answer this.
Well, technically he was awake, right?
Yeah, but first thing I do when I walk into my apartment, lock.
Well, I mean, he's in his cabin room though, right? He's
Yeah,
still
lock it.
up.
Yeah, but you lock what? And he goes to bed, then I lock it.
I mean, you would lock it before bed.
Lock it when you walked in the room.
I don't know. I
It seems like a detail that you...
I don't know. Hard to say. I don't always lock my door when I come in. If I'm here.
But your home, no. Lock my door at all in my home. But if I'm on a cruise, I think most hotels auto lock.
I mean, yeah, but this is the 1900s.
That way. Why do you think they invented auto locking? Because everyone was so tired of locking the door.
I don't know. The culprit brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning. Need a flippin' Danganronpa style recap.
You have talked a long time and said many things. What is point?
The point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Okay, we're going somewhere.
Okay, fine.
No, wait, no, never mind. This is the same stuff, anyway. Someone who left a message in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another. Someone who tried desperately to hide the broken fragments of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity.
Yes.
True. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure in order to lock a door. All told, a busy night.
But I don't know about any of this. I'm just a little girl.
Okay, you like to speak with your long English sticks. Explain your clever idea. But I am sailor, and sailors don't listen to long, boring stories, don't they? Sailors like me, we trust only what we see with our eyes.
A laudable trait.
But
I am quite of the same disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes? Do you hear it? That accusatory cry of guilt on the wind.
What?
Sorry, you've lost me. Proof of involvement, man. But you can't hear such a call with your ears, though. You must hear it with your eyes, for observation is the basis of all deduction.
what are you talking about?
I believe the time has come.
For one final chapter 4.
For one final logic and reasoning spectacular to
Sounds
expose
like
the
something
truth.
we'll figure out in season 4.
Alright, looks like this is probably the last one. So, Mr. Naruhodo, your assistance, if you please. With what exactly, Mr. Sholmes?
Put that hat on.
With observation, my dear fellow, just as I said, of these two prevaricators. What is this? What are these words?
Okay, I'm looking at it. Prevaricate?
Observation? Alright, let's hear it. What does prevaricator mean? Please. Enlighten me.
A person who speaks falsely.
Okay.
You can say liar.
Are
You can
you-
say liar, man.
you.
Oh, if you remember, Mr. Naruhodo, we fabricated, don't we? By tampering with the scene of Mr. Asuki's looking for is the trace of evidence that one of these two were in it.
Precisely. You are delightfully quick to grasp my meaning. Alright, I'll see what I can see. So we're looking for a trace of evidence that shows someone else was there last night when Kazuma died.
And not the Russian. Oh,
Just
in
those-
here. Oh, they're in ink. Oh, we got him.
Wow, that was...
Ladies and gentlemen,
We got him. Seaman Stroganoff, you seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of your white
Seaman
uniform there.
Stroganoff.
It's
Trying to
beef.
figure out the name.
It's beef
I know
Stroganoff.
It's beef Stroganoff, but
What else would it? That's all there
why
is.
would they name his name like Bert Stroganoff then? Vice C.
It's Biff.
Oh, is that his?
It's Biff Stroganoff.
Biff Stroganoff.
Eh? Wait.
Yes, I am. I don't know where the dirt comes from.
So nothing in particular comes to mind about the stain.
What are you trying to say?
It would appear the significance of the stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Allow us to make it plain. A very large purple stain on the back of Seaman Stroganoff's uniform.
I think what made it here.
It is. So, Mr. Naruhodo, present the evidence that proves it. My pleasure. Alright then, the evidence that proves what the stain on the back of Seaman Stroganoff's uniform is...
Death report. Death report. don't know what we actually would.
I don't know.
guess that.
I mean, this, yeah, probably.
Yes!
Yes, it's this photograph and the ink it shows. That's what caused the stain on your uniform.
Ink. Aw, you get.
A rather unusual color of ink, purple.
Ugh.
Ah, the penny drops at last. Now you see the significance. The Russian word on the floor next to the victim's body was written in purple ink. And the stain on the back of your uniform is ink of exactly the same color. If the ink had been dry, it couldn't possibly have stained your uniform in that way. Which means you must have been present in the cabin in the moments immediately after the ink was spilt.
Alright, yes, it was me. I did it. Everything. I arranged everything in that student's cabin to make it look like Wardrobe Man did it. And I pressed button to make burger to emergency stop in both cabin doors shut. I did everything so no one would suspect our aim.
Biff, please.
Don't worry, Angel, let me do talking. It was after 1 in the morning. I was on duty patrolling passageway.
Alright, it's time to get the full picture. Let's see what happened here.
Then our angel came to me. She was white like shit.
Biff, please, you must help me.
I went with her. The door to cabin number 1 was open. When I looked inside, I saw student boy on floor. Oh, what happened here?
Please don't tell him.
Okay, so I guess when they stopped for her, it wasn't an emergency stop, so all the doors wouldn't have been locked. Probably didn't lock his door yet because he wasn't going to bed yet, and like right there, I can see that. People lock the doors before they go to bed. It's like if it's right there.
It's 1 a.m. though.
Well, what's the difference? What if he came in like at 9 p.m.? Yeah, no, I'm saying he came in at 9 p.m. and he's up till 1 a.m.
I'm just saying, who's chilling at 1 a.m. with their door? Like, for me, it's like, oh, it's 11, lock my door.
Oh, for me, it's just like time to head to bed, lock my door. I just double check. Oh, is my door locked? Yeah.
I guess. Alright.
My little one, my little furry friend.
Everything that happened in cabin is like Angel told you.
Kitten escaped through the ventilator into Mr. Asuki's cabin. Then he tripped over it and broke his neck when he fell to the floor.
Yes, that is right.
But how did he know that he was wardrobe?
Oh. So after the incident when cats ran away, Miss Pavlova then visited the cabin next to hers when he was snoring. Only to find its occupants lying lifeless on them.
She said she was worried when she heard sound of something falling on floor. That's when she went to... No, Angel? The door was not locked, so she opened to look and you already know what happened.
Thing.
What?
Mr. Asuki's cabin, Miss Pavlova. Was he already dead?
Why?
I already told you when Nina opened door of student's cabin and looked inside.
I was asking Miss Pavlova.
Well, Miss Pavlova,
Ah. Oh. Yes, that's right. Saw him, it was dark and he was black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared. I believe you.
so is that finally it now? Have we discovered the real truth about Kazuma's death at last?
Over a cat. My man's died to a cat.
Ah, something very nearly slipped my mind. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. This photograph. Yes, I took this myself, you know. The cause of death was a broken neck, therefore the victim died instantly. And the unfortunate incident that precipitated these events, a kitten on which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, there is one particular area in this photograph that seems to be somewhat unnatural.
Oh no way. What do you mean unnatural?
I thought we went over this. What are your thoughts on the matter, Mr. Naruhodo?
I have no idea.
You start talking about the writing. Oh well. I just thought we were already over this.
Yes! You already said it, yeah, you already said it.
Word in Russian clearly wasn't written by Cosmo, so if you're looking for something unnatural, that's the obvious point. Very true. It is certainly peculiar. That is not what I meant by unnatural, I'm afraid. That particularly crass detail was orchestrated by the culprit. I meant to identify another point.
Oh, I see.
Imagine, if you will, losing your footing yourself. In my opinion, you landed as the victim appears to have done here. It would be most unnatural. I'm sure you'll reach the same conclusion.
Helpful you are, Mr. Sholmes. Thank you for your gentle...
Cosmo tripped and fell, and by some stroke of bad luck broke his neck. He'd be on his back, probably. Which part of this photographic print seems unnatural? Yeah, he'd probably be on his back.
Yes!
Nope. 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 Alright, time to save.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
time to save.
Cannot save it this time. No! okay, here we go. Yeah, let's figure this out. Can we not investigate beforehand? We should have to send it.
Investigate.
I was gonna say his neck. Or... He would have landed on his neck. Maybe his... up, but no. The air... I'm just thinking if you break your neck, you're not gonna land. Oh.
That saves coming if we get it right here.
Save scum. Yeah, we're getting it right here. I'm serious. I want to figure this
I
out.
think it might be have to do with his hands.
This thing I recognize on his
That's his shoulder band.
the headband. Something in. Imagine if you were losing footing yourself. Okay, I lose my footing, I fall, I land on my face, back my neck.
And as the victim. What of your hand? Okay, so it's obviously the hands.
It's that hand over there.
Yes!
Did it?
Alright, if he really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then this fist doesn't seem quite right. Exact same thought occurred to me. In a fall, one's instinct is to open the palms flat. Yet here we see the victim with his left hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost, you might say. As though he were gripping something.
What do you mean?
Simply that I took the liberty of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago. You did? And what, pray, do you imagine I found there, my dear fellow?
Mr. Holmes, show us, please.
Why, of course, my dear madam. Would I keep you in suspense? This is what I found.
Crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle?
Earring to the dick.
Yep.
Here we go.
Yes, you're right, a crescent moon. It's very pretty, but what
She
does
tried
it
to
tell
rape
us?
him. Me too him.
Details nothing.
I'm not so sure. That crescent moon looks familiar somehow. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere before.
Go in the thing.
Observation, Mr. Naruhodo. That is the key. What? The truth is now tantalizingly close. I think it's in the photograph.
The photograph, yeah. Or the newspaper.
Yeah. How did that crescent moon come to be in Cosmo's clenched fist? This is the final clue, the last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What significance has it? And observe, find the answer with your own eyes. Or it's literally on her.
Oh. Oh, wait. Oh, what if it makes it to the right ear? Okay, we're fine. I got scared, okay? We have one life.
Miss Pavlova, on your ear there. At the very least, we had to save before this. I see you have a crescent moon as well. Ugh.
What?
And on your other ear, there seems to be a crescent moon missing. The little link holding on it must have broken, I suppose. Now, the missing crescent moon was found in the victim's clenched fist. Clearly, there is only one logical conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. Miss Pavlova, Mr. Asuki must have grasped that crescent moon and pulled it from your ear. Perhaps just moments before he fell to the floor. In other words, last night, in Mr. Asuki's cabin, you witnessed the moment when the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you are quite literally at arm's length from him. But then the question is, why did Mr. Asuki do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it in his clenched fist during his final moments?
Oh no.
Angel.
No one can protect you now. Please, Miss Pavlova, tell us the truth. Last night, what did you do to Kazuma?
Oh. Yeah.
Mr. Matt.
I mean, I don't know,
We
the
can roll
swan
the camera
freaking out.
back up, right?
Yeah. Wait, what?
We can put the camera back.
Oh, yeah.
Think about everything that happened yesterday. It was too much. Running away, the fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb onto this huge ship. And then, when I was the last in this cabin and could relax after this horrible long day. Darka, wait!
This part has to be true. Right, half truth.
Get
I
so?
couldn't believe it when she disappeared through the ventilator. I tried to call her with a whistle, I tried waving her favorite toy. But nothing worked, Darka would not come back.
Walks over.
He just hung out in the room. He was there when it happened.
What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector?
Oh, no, it's him. It's Kazuma.
Oh. Oh, wow, what was his voice? Sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. You kinda bad, though. The young man from your country, he was very
The young man from your country was very polite and kind. He helped me to find Darka and he promised not to tell anyone. But then, they had my friend in my arms again and I was going to leave the man's cabin. Just a moment,
That's
sorry,
Kazuma,
but...
probably.
Just
Yeah.
a moment. Sorry, but...
Oh, yes?
Sure, I know your I've seen you somewhere before.
Oh,
Ah, of course, you're Nikolina Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina.
huh? No, I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man from a land far away know a Russian ballerina?
Her heart stopped from love.
Damn,
Everyone's
that's
falling for
dating,
Kazuma.
dating sim. Yes, I saw your performance in Japan.
Wow.
The beauty of the ballet made a deep impression. Deep impression on
Yeah,
me.
I know. That's a great point. I love his hairbands. It's magical, you know.
I'm sad they killed this guy.
You'll live on through
But-
backstory.
What are you doing on this ship? Sure, I read that your ballet company was performing in Shanghai at the moment.
I can't fool him. I have to tell him the truth and hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no other choice. Except murder.
I see. So you've run away.
Please, please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone.
Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here.
He's going to pull that cord. He's going to tell the captain. Why did I think I could trust him? Then it happened, everything at once. Only a second, but it felt like forever. Wait! I shouted, and then... Darka jumped out of my arms and down to the young man's feet. Pushed him. Turn around to look at me.
Bed's corner.
I pushed him. I don't even know why. I don't know why I did it. I just was so scared and I killed the coolest side character ever. I had to stop him from telling anyone about me.
Well, at least you didn't die by tripping over Cat.
Nah, that's better.
And that's when you went to fetch help from Seaman Stroganoff, who was on duty out in the passageway?
I heard Nina cry out and thud on floor, so I ran to her. She was standing at cabin door, shaking like a leaf. She looked at me and said,
Help me, Biff. If they find out, I will be... Please, I have nowhere to go.
Savage. How Cosmo dies. So you decided to help. And that's when you arranged things in Cosmo's cabin to make it look like I did it. So that no one would suspect the passenger at the cabin next door.
Yes. I went into cabin and I looked around to make sure there was nothing to show Nina was there. And then I found Stowaway.
There you go, that's how they found her.
In wardrobe, still sleeping.
Right, that's when he found me.
Plan. Lay the blame on Stowaway.
I closed wardrobe doors and put back strange paper sign.
Luckily for me, that's the only reason Sumeto-san started to believe me when I said I was innocent.
I dragged young man's body to good place and used ink that was spilling to write on floor. I wrote Tap EA Pogo, so that person who found him would look inside wardrobe and find Stowaway.
Yeah, the people drugged everyone beforehand, but that's not because of the murder. It was to pick
sneak
up.
her on.
It was to pick up the ballerina.
Yeah, it was to sneak the ballerina on without anyone knowing, because they didn't want them to know they stopped the ship.
Yep. And tell, what of the glass bell?
It was by my feet. I picked it up,
I see.
but it was dark in the cabin and I didn't notice the other half. Stupidest explanation ever.
Then Angel went back to her cabin and I finished the job.
By pressing the emergency alarm button in the passageway.
Yes.
Accordingly, the SS Burya did indeed come to an emergency halt at a little after 2 a.m., thus enticing the bolt on the cabin door to slide shut, creating the locked room mystery. There's still one thing I don't understand, Miss Pavlova.
What?
Well, you said that you told Cosmo about the fact that you'd run away from your homeland, and it's because you were worried he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him. Is that right? But the captain's in on it.
Yes.
But even if he had pulled the bell cord and called for the captain of the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? Why would that have been a problem?
It was what he said first that made me scared.
What he said first?
What are you doing here? Time of night, Inspector.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was some...
He said Inspector was his friend.
Ah, yes, meaning me, who was supposed to be acting as his bodyguard.
He thought that if police knew about me, they would arrest me. But before he could pull the bell cord, I...
Stop you, Mom. Just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, is Asuki really going to pull the bell cord?
What?
Mr. Naruhodo. Actually, I think it's plausible. Why not?
I mean,
Right
yeah.
now the story makes sense to me.
Well, no, but the whole point is he was gonna come to get me, but she doesn't know that. Well, I'm not Cosmo, so I can't know for certain, but... he was a man of his word. If he told you he wouldn't give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done.
Oh, he was walking over to it. He was gonna pull the cord. He was gonna make us send me back.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, the day's work is not yet done, it seems. There is one more deduction to make. What? Another deduction? I've already solved it. Yes, what action was the victim really about to take at that moment? I misclick. Restart the entire case. Can we determine whither the young man's gaze was directed?
To his sword.
his katana?
First, consider the victim's location within his cabin. That's easy. I remember every detail of that room. I mean, yes, I spent quite a lot of time in the road, or still, that cabin has been my home for this entire voyage.
This is how the cabin looked last night when Miss Pavlova visited Kazuma-sama.
Yes, it's exactly how it was. Are you ready then, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, if there's one thing I learned today, it's that a simple gaze can reveal all manner of truth. And not only that, in order to draw the right conclusion, you can't afford to be out by even a little bit when you're following the gaze up to where it lands. So when he turned away from Miss Pavlova, what exactly was Kazuma looking at?
Wardrobe.
Take that! Considering everything that had happened last night, certainly it may have looked as though Kazuma was going to ring the bell cord. Yes, however, what is directly beside the bell cord? The wardrobe.
Tense right now.
Wardrobe?
And more importantly, what was inside the wardrobe? The man's great friend, sleeping soundly.
Pavlova, please think back very carefully. What were Mr. Asuki's exact words last night? Give me a moment, I could use another opinion.
I mean, that could be interpreted as anything. That could be interpreted as anything!
Opinion?
Yes, but not from a member of the crew. No, Mr. Asuki intended to consult his close friend on the matter. He could be close friends with the inspector, she doesn't know.
Yeah, this is weird.
To see if, between them, they might have been able to help in some way, no doubt.
Oh no.
We can't know the truth for certain now. Late for I wish you had made sure of what Mr. Asuki was.
The wardrobe was a big
Things
old
may
pussy.
have ended very different. Bad.
Miss Pavlova, you're guilty. Go to jail. I want to thank you for finally admitting the truth. Now we can get you arrested in court.
Right.
But unfortunately, the truth is, a man lost his life because of what you did, and that will never change. I hope you'll never forget that.
Oh, she better go to jail.
I'm sorry. Really, I'm so sorry. But little old me can't go to jail. I have too much money. What have I done?
And so, at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic accident on the SS Burya had finally laid to rest.
No.
Send her to freaking jail, bro.
Handcuff him.
What will happen to Miss Pavlova now then? Once we reach Great Britain, she'll be handed over to the British police at Scotland Yard. There you go. Right to jail. What about the fact that she ran away from Russia? Won't the Russians try to wait, what? What was that word?
Repatriate her?
Repatriate her? Apparently the English detective can speak to the immigration officer and sort all that out. Mr. Sholmes can do that? She won't be going back to Russia then. No, I don't think so. Even if she wanted to return in the future, I doubt she would be able to. She ran away, so now she's in exile. I see.
I'm sorry.
Seaman Stroganoff.
Yeah, he should go to jail too.
I wanted to help our angel no matter what. But I didn't think about you, about how you lost a good friend. I will go with Nina, I will give
There you
myself
go.
to British police.
This dude has a redemption arc going for him. I like him. I like him now.
That's kind of you. In the meantime, thank you for letting me go. Kazuma's death feels like such a waste,
It is.
honestly.
Yeah, like
What a way to die. Well,
just messed up.
do what you can for Miss Pavlova, won't you?
Repatriate. What does it mean? Right to jail. Right to just straight to jail. What was inside the wardrobe was a big old glizz.
Duh.
Well, I'm afraid you need to pack now. You're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow.
I hope we get his.
As much as it pains me, how would we get a snake?
Oh,
He's
keep
gotta
little
have his
things
friend
from
in
everything.
jail.
By the time we're at the end, we have all those cool stuff on us.
You just take an object from every person.
Yeah, it's a roguelite, dude.
I'm going to have you hand over, and I'm going to hand you over to the council to arrange your passage back to Japan. Yes, I did stow away after all. I couldn't really expect any
Oh,
difference.
so now we're going.
Right
Everyone
to
goes
jail!
Right to jail. Right to jail. Game
So
ends.
you should get back to your cabin now.
Game ends.
We take over Makoltova now, obviously.
Oh, we pretend we're Kazuma.
Oh, actually? It looks like my study tour to Great Britain is over before it's even begun then.
Who
To
are
think
you,
that only
Kazuma?
days ago, Kazuma and I were laughing together and how we tear up the streets of London. That seems like a distant memory now. Back to one's country. Oh, what's that? Is it someone weeping? Sato-san. Kill me.
Naruhodo-san, I didn't know you had returned.
Oh, well, I haven't been back long. Inspector Hosonaga just told me I should pack, you know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that.
Oh, look at her eyes. They have a little.
I can't believe it happened. I can't believe someone's life can be that.
This is getting dark now. This is
Yusuke's savage. He's not spilling a single tear. He's just like, oh, well, he's dead.
He gone.
Susato-san.
At one Kazuma's.
It was still because of the cat in the end. He caused the opening.
In so many and now they've been cruel. Just as thought I could never forgive the person responsible. Now we know the truth, that it was just
An accident.
I mean, she
People
wasn't
go-
intending to kill him.
Yeah, but people go to jail even if you don't intend to kill
Oh yeah,
someone.
for sure. Like
Yeah.
it's like yeah, accidental murder is still murder, but like, well, I think she's
just a silly
technically.
series of mishaps.
Technically,
Yeah, people legit get sent. They get life sentences.
I don't
for
think she's old enough.
accidents. Oh, she's F in the chat. F.
Too much Naruhodo.
Just too. He got taken out by a 15-year-old.
he got taken out by the corner of a bed.
It's less bad than tripping over a cat. It's still pretty bad.
Yeah, honestly, he got killed by a cat plus 15-year-old plus bed frame.
And he was the coolest. He has that sword with him.
Yes, I know.
I don't know who this is.
I wish there was something I could say. Oh, no, it's you.
There you go.
My duty was to see Asugi-san to safely to Great Britain, but I failed. Manslaughter, not murder. But I failed, and caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering is worth. I've let everyone down. And I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder. Nobody blames you, Inspector. Wait, what? And I'm free again now, at least. Huh? Sherlock Holmes strikes again! Surprise, Mr. Naruhodo!
Oh my god.
What is the meaning of this? Oh, a trifling matter. Simply that in my head, I think I shall always picture you wearing those shackles. Without them, the balance seems all wrong. It's distracting.
Oh my
Sorry?
gosh.
So I decided to restore them, for old time's sake, shall we say. Or a stowaway, after all. He thinks this is funny? What a character.
I really appreciate what you've done, and I'd like to thank you from my heart.
Not at all, not at all. And though it's a little late, may I offer my sincere condolences. The loss of your companion is truly heart-rending. Whenever his hat's down, that's when he's serious, and that's when he actually acts smart. I hope that you will be able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor. I'm afraid that won't be possible. We shall be disembarking at the next port in Hong Kong.
Glasses are
Yep. We have to return to Japan to make a full report about everything that's happened. What? Wait a minute. It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was a stowaway. The terms of this study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. It was to be one lawyer and one assistant. Was to be. Wait, that was totally the wrong voice. In light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. Oh no. I don't care for me, but... Or Susato-san.
why we get pressured into the.
My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely.
There's no one else with the necessary qualifications. We know of no other lawyer.
Qualifications, you say? Any qualifications obtained in your own country will be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid.
Oh, but...
But anyway, the voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity. Find yourselves another suitable lawyer. Naruhodo-san is going on the study tour! Mr. Sato. Do you think perhaps I might be able to do it? But you're not a lawyer, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, unless... Are you studying law? No, I'm an artist. I'm studying painting.
I make games in my free time.
I'm not, but... I'm sorry, in that case, I don't think there's even a chance it could work. But as I said, there is still more than a month before we reach England shores. Wow, honestly, I gotta be a genius if I'm getting my license, my lawyer license, or whatever it is, with that time. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I have a month in which to study, to learn what I must to become a lawyer in Great Britain. You know, maybe it's just a lot easier back then.
Naruhodo.
That's ridiculous! Are you seriously suggesting anybody could learn all of that in just 40 days?
YouTube.
There's only one way to find out! I will work my fingers to the bone, Inspector, every single day. Will you let me try? And if, by the time we reach Great Britain, I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate. What? Why put yourself in such a difficult position? Or Kazuma. He said that there was something he had to do in Great Britain, and that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. He was passionate about it. I can't let all that passion just come to nothing. And anyway, it's for my own benefit too. I will become a lawyer. I have to. You say, Mr. Sato.
Watch. A wonderful idea.
Thank you. Oh, didn't know what she was gonna do for a second there. Maybe flip me over my sore shoulder.
Yeah, attacks us.
So, what does our bespectacled inspector friend say?
Infrector.
Are you serious?
Someone has set us up the bomb.
One lawyer and one assistant. The numbers are indisputable. No, no, no. It's madness! Yet fascinating, wouldn't you agree? Fascinating. Duty and rules are the dull routine of existence that we all abhor. Give us interest, give us fascination. Speak for yourself. Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What matters is his character, no? And you've witnessed ample evidence of this man's exemplary character today, your own eyes. From the early hours of this morning until this very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion, and despite the accusation of guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, courage. Very well. I'll think of a clever way to warrant my report to the Department of Justice. Inspector, after all, I did just make a promise, didn't I? I said that I'd do anything at all to make up for my shortcomings here.
Oh, thank you, Inspector.
If you'll excuse me, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. Get thrown overboard. I need to discuss what to do next and how best to make my report.
You really prepared to attempt this, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, I'm going to try. I wonder, do you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer?
Would be delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant, after all.
Thank you.
And Mr. Naruhodo, I'd like you to take charge of this. I told you we were gonna get something. Got a sword now.
I saw getting a sword coming from a mile away. What? Me? Are you sure?
I'm sure it's what Kazuma-sama would have wanted. Name is Kuruma. It's a great sword that's been in the Asuki clan for generations.
Very well, I accept. I'll treasure it always.
Yeah, screwed giving it to his family. We're taking it for our bloodline.
So then, Mr. Sato. It seems we'll be working together for some time to come yet.
It will be an honor, Mr. Naruhodo. Pulls it out of her armpit. Next 40 days, I shan't grant you a single minute of freedom. I shall fill every spare moment with study.
Yes! That's exactly what I need.
But before we begin, I have an earnest favor to ask you.
Goodness, what is it?
Please throw
Oh,
throw me to the ground 3 times.
what?
I should never have doubted you. You were Kazuma-sama's closest friend. Of course, you would have never done anything to hurt him. That should have been obvious to me from the start. But I allowed suspicion to get the better of me. No matter how upset I was feeling, I was completely the unforgivable behavior.
No, you were in shock. You just found out about me stowing away, and the cabin door was locked from the inside.
No, I won't let you make excuses for me. Whatever the circumstances, I should never have thrown you. And not just once, but 5 times.
And I only get to throw you back 3 times?
Yeah, for real.
That number keeps creeping up, doesn't it?
Please, you must.
He's definitely gonna throw me more.
Just take hold of me and throw me. Do it. Don't even think about it.
No, I don't even know how. I've never thrown anyone in my life. Very wise, Mr. Naruhodo. It isn't a skill one acquires without considerable training.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes.
I observed your throwing technique several times with great interest. I confess I was most impressed. When did he see that? I presume that would be a form of Japanese wrestling.
Oh, well, in a way it's not wrestling, but my own interpretation of an ancient jujitsu technique.
Apparently it's called the Susato takedown. It leaves your head swimming. Believe me. How beguiling. I am a practitioner of combative arts. Myself, and I am somewhat an accomplished...
It connected. Oh my god.
Oh wow, no, she's putting these right past her face.
Yeah.
I am somewhat accomplished boxer. See that he's so
Right there,
accomplished,
right
he's
there, right
dodging
past her
right
face.
past her face. There he goes, dancing around again. I wonder if you'd be so kind as to instruct me on the technique of your arresting throw.
Get him, get him. Yes, I'd be honored.
Then let us not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madam.
Oh, of course.
Well,
Does she throw us to the
yeah,
ground?
she's throwing us.
Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo?
Not even. Sorry.
Oh my, what do it on
Doesn't
him?
even throw Sherlock.
Goodness gracious, 6 times now. As you can see, you throw from the abdomen.
Oh, what if Herlock starts throwing us too? Oh yes, arresting indeed. And that is what you term the Susato takedown, is it?
Actually, no, that was a Susato squash.
Wow, my head's so foggy that my vision's blurry right now.
I know. Oh, and we're fading to black. We
Ah,
just got
well.
concussion.
He was actually, in my groggy state of consciousness, a scene from an evening recently spent with Cosmo flickered into my mind. Karuma.
Karuma?
Like Kazuma, you know?
Karuma.
That's right, that's you.
That's right, it's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asuki clan.
I can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. Probably because he didn't. I mean, taking a katana on a study tour is more than our literal regulars, surely.
Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me. I truly believe that.
Sword's possessed. So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two. Not that you would need much compelling.
On that subject,
Or in the
there's
slice.
something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. And I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me.
Oh, of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
We're gonna assassinate the king. The important thing that he had to do. I still don't know what that was.
Huh?
But I'm going to see the place for myself and work it out. In Great Britain's capital, London.
London.
Alright, we finished the second case!
So this is 3 hours. How long was the first live stream?
4-ish hours.
No, that was our first one. Talking about the first half of this case that we filmed.
Oh, how long was the first case?
Yeah, this is even
First
longer
half
than
of
the
the case.
first one.
Well, I mean, that's to be assumed. They're only gonna get longer and longer, honestly.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. That's why you gotta grind. First one, first one, it was 2 hours, 15 minutes, so it's coming out to like 5-ish hours.
In the first one, it
was 4 hours.
The first one was a half.
No, this was about the last one was 2.5. So this entire case was 5 hours.
No, hold on.
This is the very first one, longest tutorial ever, 4 hours, 4.5 hours.
You have 4. One of them isn't added on there. The first one is 2 hours 51 minutes. 4 hours 20. One's 2 hours 50.
That's not.
Oh, that's Paper Mario. Okay, so this one,
So it's like
5.
So 4.5 to 5. No, it's only 30 minutes longer each,
That's
baby.
crazy. Now we're done with the tutorial after 8 hours.
I mean, I don't know if like
9
second.
hours.
I don't know if the second case is really considered a tutorial, but it kind of is because it shows that new mechanic of the whatever Sherlock Holmes' thing is called. I can't even remember what it's called.
Save your current progress.
Yeah, but I don't know what it's called. Like it's something in wonder. I don't know. All right. Well, are we calling it here? All right.
Yeah.
I guess it's a good place to call it. You don't want to preview the next case? Let's just get a small look. Let's just take a small look into it.
Got
What? Alright, I'm gonna start.
Okay.
Take a small preview. Take a look, see what it's about.
Next time on Dragon
Glancing over
Ball.
my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter. A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night. Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner. My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident,
I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude.
the beginning of a long concerto
I mean, I don't know.
that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together.
I guess, yeah, that is his voice.
Yeah.
Cutscene.
Animation. Anime.
Wow,
So
we're
I
gonna
gotta
get
get
this.
our voice.
Amazing.
Oh,
Is this really just a railway
Wow.
station?
Got it, there it is.
Railway
Taking notes.
station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
Railway.
And look at all the steam locomotives.
voice is so much higher than I imagined.
This country is incredible.
Brian's Cocoa. Cocoa. Beer? It's all alcohol. They're all selling. It's only selling alcohol there.
I'm really intrigued. I like the voice.
Oh, and someone's gonna steal the bag now.
I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
Do we
In
know
that case,
English
then,
now?
The Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh yeah, she's got a British accent.
Oh, I thought he was straight up jacking it.
Students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay. And welcome centre of the world. Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
That's the voice I gotta say. Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
Here's your preview. Oh.
Wow. What a courtroom. Oh, this is a library. What a library.
Oh.
This place looks sick. I would read books if they had libraries like this. What an incredible place. No, seriously, Ryunosuke's literally
It's
our
so
thoughts.
imposing. It's almost suffocating.
This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress.
Own buildings like this in Japan now, of course. They've only been built in the few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree?
Can't tell if it's just me or if the game audio is quiet. I mean, I thought it was a good volume. Is it quiet?
Maybe, I don't know.
I thought it was a good volume, but I can raise it.
That's fine, it's fine.
I checked the stream beforehand, I thought, but maybe I'm wrong.
A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from.
It's certainly unfamiliar. Ryan, is it quiet compared to like our voices in general, or is like everything quiet? Let me know. Not that it matters because we're ending stream at this point, but you know. But I think But I think there's more difference in construction materials. What is this place again?
This is the Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruhodo-san. Supreme Court of Great Britain.
This is the courtroom.
The Lord Chief Justice. Well, I mean, it's not the courtroom.
Oh, it's an office.
I had instructions to report here at this time if circumstances are different. You're supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan.
But Kazuma can't.
No. Instead, we are here in a different capacity. As envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death.
Yes.
And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is...
Apparently, audio's quiet. No, too late now. Next time. This is why you were supposed to be here from the beginning of the stream, Ryan. So we'd have to return to Japan.
We had it on private, so get screwed. No one knew the first hour existed.
If we want to remain here in Great Britain...
I have to take Kazuma's place as a law student selected for the study tour.
Yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer.
Interesting. I'll have to take a look after stream. Which is what I've been studying for.
Here in Great Britain is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. That's the second reason why we're here. Have you officially recognized as a lawyer? The only way that we'll be able to remain here in London.
I hope I'm up to scratch.
I don't know how to do the voice. Good morning. Sorry for keeping you. Oh, you like to hear my next intense. I'll do a super
Oh,
deep
you
one.
got this? Alright.
I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. It seems I'm 1 hour 12 minutes and 47 seconds late. My apologies.
An hour late? Just like
this
Matt.
dude looks cool. Hey.
Oh, no, don't mention it. We were never happier than when we were standing around with nothing much to do.
How fortunate. So, introductions. I am Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire.
And I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot.
Come on, Mr. Naruhodo, don't be a mouse.
Oh, it's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire.
Ah, yes, thank you. Okay, this is where we'll call it.
Save.
Thank you all for watching. I'll look into audio issues later. I think it's a good volume for when we're just playing the game. But when the cutscenes, yeah, I might have to raise it just at those points.
How do you even raise it?
It's
always too full.
I can raise my volume.
Oh, it
My
raises it?
my volume's not completely up there.
Gotcha.
But yeah, all right. Now that we know for next time. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully we'll see you on the next stream, and it won't be private for the first hour.
Staki. Bye.